6 o'clock, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Carolina Hurricanes moved to one win away from a Stanley Cup title after a 4-2 win over the Golden Knights Thursday night for Game 5. Andrei Svechnikov scored 2 goals, and goaltender Brandon Bussi made 23 of 25 saves in the win. The Hurricanes have not won the Stanley Cup since 2006, and they'll have the chance to hoist the cup Sunday night for Game 6 in Las Vegas. Some NFL news yesterday. The Panthers and wide receiver Jalen Coker agreed to terms on a 3-year extension worth $35 million that has up to $41 million in incentives. The Denver Broncos, they agreed to a 5-year extension with head coach Sean Payton. Payton has been in Denver since the 2023 season and is currently 32-19 with the Broncos, including an AFC Championship appearance last season. Also, the Chiefs, they're trading former Vols offensive tackle Wanya Morris and a 7th-round draft pick to the Falcons in exchange for a 6th-rounder. And the 2026 FIFA World Cup officially kicked off yesterday. Mexico got the 2-0 win over South Africa in their Group A matchup. Coming up today, though, the USA men's national team starts their Group D play as they face Paraguay in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium with kickoff set for 8 p.m. on Fox. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone. Happy Friday. Rhett Bryant filling in for the about-to-be married Will Bowling.
Hey.
Happening this weekend.
Yes, it is.
Well, he is away on assignment, a very important life assignment. That laughter you hear is from the 11-year.
I wish it was 11 time.
Ramon Foster, Ball for Life.
No doubt.
Titans Radio's color analyst.
Yes, sir.
Coming soon.
Working with my guy, Sir Rhett Bryant.
Here we go.
This thing. Yes, sir. We are here.
We are here. And I don't know about you. You know how I feel about Friday. Friday's undefeated.
Yeah, they are.
It is.
Yeah, they are.
It just, whether you're working the weekend, whatever it is, dude, that feeling, depending on where you were in school, 2:45 later on in school, but 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That school bell rang, you're like, woo!
It's Friday. It is Friday. Even during the fall, okay, if we're going that route, and during football season in high school, there was I hate it, and I'm sure you felt this way, and most do, but the teacher that gives you the calculus test on Fridays before the game.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
The big writing assignment in class that you have to have on Fridays. I appreciate you. All we needed on Fridays during high school football seasons were pep rallies.
Yes.
And jersey wearings. That's
it.
That's it.
That's it.
Let's hit the pep. Oh, my bad. Lunch.
Yeah.
Can't forget about lunch.
You got to make sure you're fueling up.
Make sure you're fueling up. Yep. I used to love, do you hear me, a Friday pep rally at Ripley High School.
Are you kidding me?
None better.
Listen, in places where, people love their high school football teams, which are aplenty around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Listen, we did some shenanigans at a damn Friday football pep rally at Oakland High School. I guarantee you.
No doubt
we
about
had
it.
And that was about the time, I guess, midway through high school, they introduced halftimers, halftime dancers, which they were starting to use in basketball and those things. And, man, they were out there moving it now. They were shaking a tail feather.
Of course,
I'm telling you.
Those are always cool, man. But I will even say, as an adult, I get why Friday during the work week is just like a relief to a lot of people. Like the Sir Charles song that we play on Fridays, elites, because I do remember, so my parents them got paid on Thursdays. They worked at a factory in West Tennessee Electric Plating. So they got paid on Thursday. So they had that Friday money. But then like my stepdad, his friends, they would all get together on Fridays. And like when they say go get a bottle for a Friday, like I saw those things growing up. I understood now as an adult.
Sir Charles Jones put it into words and lyrics and music.
Absolutely. And I understand the relief of making it to the weekend, man. I now, not being in the NFL, I enjoy. Do you hear me? I enjoy going into the weekend and being like, yeah, This day is Keisha can give me 15 tasks over the weekend, okay? Or we can just have something planned. We got a wedding planned this weekend.
Yep.
But just getting to the weekend, man, is by far one of the most nostalgic things I remember as a kid because it meant everything. You got a chance to chill. I go to Covington to my grandmama's house. Or I go out to my granddad's house out in Covington too. Or we just chill. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Friday was for me. And I thoroughly enjoyed making it.
Fridays as a kid too is just, that's a doubly good thing.
Yeah.
Because you're right. You just reminded me of like, I would go to my grandparents' farm.
Yeah.
Free. I'd spend weekends at both my grandparents throughout my growing up, but my mom's parents' farm, like, God, I love doing that.
I did too. My granddad still has his too with the racetrack. They're not utilizing the racetrack anymore because my granddad had a juke joint in the racetrack. Okay, people used to come and link up in Covington, Tennessee.
How about that?
And they used to do the kart racing around his property, man. And he had a little club in the middle. You can come on Sundays and get a bottle. He was the only one in the city that had the ability to sell liquor on Sundays.
Grandpops.
My granddad is a G. Do you hear me?
Undefeated in the blue light laws.
Yeah. Only one in Tipton County that can sell on Sundays.
That?
Yes. And
how about that?
That's where I learned a lot of my stuff was from him, like the businessman that he is, the worker that he was. Like my granddad worked 7 days a week, no lie. Monday through Friday, he's a mechanic. So he had that. He also had a spot around the town square in Covington. But at one point in time, this was before I was born, seeing all this stuff. I knew all this stuff, but he had 2 nightclubs in the city of Covington, and one was on his property where he also raised and raced horses as well. And that's where I learned a little bit of business, learned a little bit of talking because he used to, at his spot, it was on his property, and there was a trail that went all the way back to the juke joint area, okay? It's a juke joint area. You have like a band playing or DJ playing and stuff like that. A little bit of legal gambling in the back. I'm telling you,
rolling
everything.
dice.
Ron,
playing some numbers.
This is where I first saw Ron, my brother.
Okay.
First saw him at my granddaddy's house because Ron lived here in Nashville. And I'm in Covington. And granddaddy's spot was where all of us linked together because we have the same father. So my uncle Maurice used to go to TSU, and he would pick up Ron, and that's the first place I saw him at my granddaddy's spot, man. So that all ties us together. Like, we really are brothers. And I know people don't people don't usually know that for sure, but we are. And that's what we all earn our stripes, man. He used to charge people $2 a head, $2 to get into a club. Like,
how about that?
That was insane. And what's crazy is, I hate people that negotiate with kids like this because it'd be 4 of them in the car, 4 people in the car. It could be 2 girls, 2 guys, okay, or 4 dudes. It was like, how much is it tonight? I'm like, man, y'all know granddad is $2 a head. Okay, not what you mean a head? $2 a car. I'm like, it's $2 a head. Listen, young fella, we ain't giving you number $2. We going in here. All right, I'm gonna go get my granddaddy. And at that point, they give up the money.
That was it.
That was it. My granddaddy didn't play, man. And it's cool.
I'm gonna guess at something about your granddad with what you just told me. I guarantee you, there's some old heads rolled up in there and paid him in $2 bills.
Yes, sir.
And he kept every one of those because those are valuable now.
They are, right? Smart man, Army vet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
entrepreneurial spirit.
Spirit. Yeah. So that's him. Like that. That's where my grind come from.
I love that.
That's like when you see Ron and my brother Renardo, anybody that was around him and my uncle Maurice and my dad too, when he came back around. I got to give him a huge shout out to. He's the greatest granddad ever. Do you hear me? So that's something that he's kind of rectified right there. It's just like,
I love that.
Might have missed the kids, but he ain't gonna miss them grandboys. He check in on them all the time, man. But yeah, that's where a lot of my get comes from is watching him hustle. Watching him hustle, man. Yeah, Jackson, 19 to 11. Yes, these last $2. They wanted to hold on to them, but go spend, at that time, probably, $12 for a bottle of whatever they were drinking on the weekend. I'm just like, man, give me them $2 before I had to go get my granddaddy. It was cool.
Don't make me pull this car over.
I'm telling you. And so I had my uncles that was there with me, too. Granddad remarried, and I have uncle that I'm older than, and William and we both kind of raised together, and I actually played against him in high school. I played for Ripley. He played for Covington. They beat us, but I'd be remiss if I don't say I beat my cousin. I beat my uncle in a one-on-one a time or two, okay?
All right.
But it was, so it would be he, myself, my brother Renardo would come out there, my other uncle David, and we would just run the gate, man. It's just cool West Tennessee, Southern.
I love that
stuff, man. And people would come from Arkansas that was racing, from Decatur, Illinois, from Missouri. Like, I didn't realize, like, for me, I thought horse racing was only cart racing, where you sit behind the horse on the carts and stuff like that. I think they do it big in Germany and across seas.
Yes.
Japan, I think, is super big,
I think,
too.
What do they call it? I think they call it a sulky, right?
Yeah. And it was a fascinating way to grow up. We're getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Do you want to hear of some terrible smelling urine? Horse. Do you hear me cleaning out that stable in the morning? Oh,
sure.
My gosh. But yeah, make it to the weekend.
Ain't nothing worse, though, than hogs and chickens.
Oh, my gosh. I've raised one of those, too.
Hogs and chickens.
I've never been around chickens like that.
Permeate.
I heard
permeate the air.
Yeah. Just, either way, man, that's a little bit about my upbringings, man. But we got there because of Fridays, and we're looking forward to it,
You
man.
damn right. We're going to talk about OTAs, what we've observed this week, and what we can speak about.
Absolutely.
I think it's interesting, the narratives floating around Cam Ward.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just way too early for all that. And he's learning a system. Like, I don't get it.
It's a lot, because what travels fast? It ain't good news. Bad news always travels fast.
Yep.
This time of the year is going to be super fascinating for Cam, because everybody's going to be expecting a year 2 jump. And I think there's a bit of accountability. I know Cam wants that to be the case, though, too. But OTAs isn't a perfection time of the year. It is a let me figure out my tweaks. Let me figure out what I am as a player. Let me gather myself into minimizing what my mistakes were. Are there still going to be hits and misses? 1,000%. But the finished product idea of OTAs being the end-all, be-all is kind of foolish to me.
We hadn't even got to minicamp.
It ain't even minicamp. And then, of course, it's reported, I'm sure, in Jimmy Wise's observations, the players who are in and out of the lineup right now, like, one of those guys being J.C. Latham not being there. Like, those types of things play a part
Dan Moore
in it
not
as well.
being there.
And you see the differences in how the defense rushed after you as well. Dan's not there. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. Guys aren't at their full reps right now as well. I just, for me, this time of the year reporting about it's all bad and this doom and gloom is just not real. Like I know, like, there's balance to it. There's a lot that goes into figuring out how I get better as a player.
The thing that I'm puzzled by is everyone talking about, how up and down and how bad he's looked or this, that, and the other. And the thing is, he passed for almost 3,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Like, okay, it wasn't a great year. You won 3 games, but, like, I don't know. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around that. But I'm also not a person who lives and leans towards negativity either. Mm-hmm. You know me.
There's a cut from Coach Sala, and I think we may have it somewhere, Hawk. I heard him play it yesterday. I think I'm blaming Zach. Or Sala's pretty much giving you what the mindset of this time of the year is. And he's speaking specifically about Cam, because Cam's been the topic, because the quarterback and being number 1 overall pick carries a lot of weight. It does. But he even said then, like, this to me was the answer I was looking for. It's like, this time of year, you're trying to figure out what you can and cannot do. You're going to make some mistakes. This is where we press the envelope a little bit more, figure out what my touch is, figure out how I go about completing these passes in the game. What we don't hear is the balls that are fitting up in tight windows. Like, the touch component of it and how you deliver the ball and what satisfies you as a quarterback. Like, yeah, maybe I gave it a little bit too much air right there. Maybe I underthrew it. Maybe I kept it too far inside. There are adjustments to be made. When we get to that point, I have a breakdown of how I view this process as far as going through OTAs. Because, again, when dealing in this world of reporting news, you got to look at some people's angles, is the way I would phrase that too.
Well, and I think, listen, modern day reporting has changed so much.
Yeah.
Like, that's not just the beat writers out there, that what used to be such a thriving industry in the newspaper world and those things. And it's changed dramatically. And your point's valid there. But I mean, they ain't put pads on.
They
You
haven't.
don't, like these linemen, you don't know anything until they do that.
Man,
You can see glimpses of things.
absolutely. And in my personal opinion, I think some folks just don't know what they're looking at as well. If I could be completely honest with
Well,
you, it's just
You ain't wrong.
some just don't know what they're looking at. And I love to ask some people, hey, what do you see right here and why?
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Hey, Patrick wants to talk about Titans. Hang on, Patrick. We're going to take a little dip right here, a little break. When we come back, we'll take your phone call, and we're going to talk about a favorite podcast of mine that has stopped because of some things in a higher, bigger deal, and I'll just leave it at that. You're listening to Ramon and Will right here on 104.5 The Zone. The Reverend Al Green.
Yes.
Nice job, Justin Hawkins behind the glass, making it happen. Ramon and Will, 1045 The Zone, your flagship home for Titans Radio. Rhett Bryan in for Will Bowling. Getting married tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Big Ramon. Important for the young man.
Yeah, it's a big date, man. This is huge, man.
It's a milestone, no doubt.
Yes, it is. Finding love is a beautiful thing. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to go tomorrow. Picked up my suit yesterday, too.
Oh.
So we good to go. First time I done bought a suit since...
You don't know when.
I wore one for Savage's wedding. I did, but that was more like a lounge suit, not necessarily a tie, slacks type of suit. This one, because I wore a T-shirt under that one, if I'm not mistaken. This one, I actually put a tie on, man. I hadn't bought a suit to wear since about 2016 before I just started wearing polos and jeans to team flights and stuff.
Well, you've done well, sir.
Yeah.
You've done really well. That's a good run there.
It is a good run.
Get another suit.
It's a good run, ain't it? Real good run.
Let's go to phone, 615-737-1045. Patrick wants to talk Titans. Good morning, Patrick.
Morning, Pat.
What's up, boys?
Not much, man. Good morning. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, man. I just want to start off by saying, June is Men's Mental Health Awareness. Love it.
Yes.
If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. You ain't alone. That's all I got to say there.
Man, we appreciate that good word this morning,
Yes.
man. I'm a firm believer in that, too. Talk to your circle, man, that you trust in these moments, especially, man. I'm huge on that. You got a problem? Don't hold on to it, Patrick. Appreciate that awareness, good brother.
Yes, sir. Y'all unlocked a core memory for me, talking about Fridays and pep rallies. Y'all were talking about enjoying the pep rallies and lunch and everything. Mine was going down into our boiler room at Cheatham County High, home of Pat Head Summit, R.I.P., and smooching on pretty girls.
Patrick, you was going to get suspended.
Now, that's a Friday activity.
No, the vice principal caught me once, actually.
See
and I was a baseball player, and I was a pretty good pitcher. That's all I'm going to say. And all he said to me when he caught me was, how are you going to approach a 3-hole hitter? My man. I ain't even going to shout out the vice principal, but he's my dog.
Okay.
But speaking on Titans ball, everybody shut up about Tajay Spears. I'm tired of hearing about everyone crying about it. If he's healthy, he's a dog. What are you going to get if you trade him? Nothing. I'd rather keep him. And as far as all this Cam Ward talk about him not practicing well and all this, man, I just hope at the end of the day he can just look at the media at the end of next year and just say, instead of we ask, y'all ask. So I hope y'all have a great day.
All right, Patrick. I appreciate that.
Appreciate it, Pat.
That's a good phone call.
It was. He going to approach the 3-hole.
Going to the boiler room to make out with girls.
Listen, there's some ladies right now just like, please don't say my name, Patrick.
Yeah.
At Cheatham County.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
I teased this before we went to break, and I'll follow it up in this segment. I was just disappointed to read from our friend Daniel Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Who posted on X earlier this week that the long-tenured Move the Sticks podcast with his co-host Bucky Brooks is no more. And a lot of this comes on the heels of the ESPN NFL deal where, they basically turned the keys over to the NFL Network in return for a 10% stake in ESPN. And, when that deal happened earlier this year, you're like, okay, what are the side effects of this?
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of them because it's one of my favorite podcasts. Over 1,000 episodes those dudes did together, and really good stuff. And for obvious reasons. I mean, listen, Daniel never played at the level, but he was a quarterback in college for Appy State. Right. And, of course, Bucky played, but both of them were scouts. Like, they've lived this and done this.
Wow.
Then Coach Mack would tell you, like, those were people he trusted because they'd been a part of stuff in those rooms where decisions were made. So I'm just, I'm disappointed. I think DJ, he'll have another podcast home. He'll land where he'll figure
He's
it out.
He's good at his job, right?
But it just brought on what I thought would be an interesting topic here. And, what's a podcast you go to, and maybe what's a podcast that you like that just went away? Because, listen, podcasts have been a thing for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And seems like in the last 5 years, it's just been everybody's got a pod. Everybody's got a pod. I've got a new pod I'm starting. I'm like, well, that's great. But what separates you from the rest? What is your content unique?
Right.
And that's, individual to the person and what they like. Because I think the podcast market is just oversaturated because everybody, if you've got the equipment, which you can get for little or nothing, you can put a podcast cast together. And there's good ones right here on the 104.5 The Zone platform. There's the install with Buck and Greg Cosell. Mm-hmm. There's football and other F words with Stoney and Zach.
Yeah. Some
good stuff.
It is.
But it's just so much is changing in that world, and sometimes it affects some really good podcasts.
It does. I will say this. There's a lot of people that have pods. I know a lot of former athletes that do them. I know a lot of current athletes that do them, though, too. Like, do I think the market is oversaturated? Absolutely. I know if you go down Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whoever you listen to and go get your podcast from, there's a lot of dead ones, to your point, because the goal is to earn off of it, I think, ultimately. I think initially when you looked at what podcast started as, it was a concentrated think tank for people who wanted to speak about what they wanted or what they loved, whether it be sports, whether it be politics, whether it be wrestling. Like, hey, this is what I like. Or maybe I want to speak about just the Tennessee Titans, and I don't want to hear anything about the Colts, the Jaguars, or the Texans. Let me speak about what the Titans are. And there's a lot of those podcasts here in the city, too. And that's the thing. Like, the one thing I would tell anybody doing podcasts is the consistency of it has to be there. The belief that folks listen to what you are saying and is good and is true, that's where I think it kind of gets skewed a little bit sometimes, because I think some people fall into an algorithm of negativity and they realize this is what drives, this is what pushes us over the top. And again, some have the ability to just go buy a mic, a transmitter, have a laptop, and just put content out. And I would be very cautious of who you choose to listen to. The podcast I go to is more of a life podcast. I go to The Pivot with Ryan Clark Channing and Fred Taylor. Like, those guys to me are good. I like to hear those guys. I've seen athletes that I've watched and admired growing up break down and cry because they're giving their truths on there. And it's the gist of it is, what was your pivot? Whether that be in sports, whether that be in life, and how did you get to this point? One of the most memorable ones to me was hearing Ken Griffey Jr. speak about his upbringing. And, of course, his dad being Ken Griffey Sr. and the pathway that he was trying to go in order to make it to the MLB before his dad was too old and kind of phased out. And just hearing all those transgressions that he went through. And, like, to me, I think Ken Griffey Jr. is probably one of the most perfect, I say that tongue-in-cheek, athletes that you could have ever watched growing up. I admired him. The swing, never played baseball a day in my life, organized anyway. In the backyard, we gonna swing a broomstick, but I never
Stick
saw
ball.
Absolutely. I never saw a hard white ball coming down the line and me hit it is what I'm getting. My kids are into it and stuff like that, but I admired what greatness was. And Ken Griffey Jr. was great to me. And on that Pivot podcast, along with other guys that's been on there as well, he disclosed some stuff to where, of course, if you're into that content, like Ken Griffey Jr. acknowledged, I think it was his senior year, he attempted suicide. Speaking of men's mental health month in June. And I don't know if anybody ever really knew that on a wide level, but when I heard Ken Griffey Jr., it's just like he felt the pressure, like it was too much for him.
Wow.
It just opens your eyes into what the reality is for people who are chasing their dreams. But I'll never despise anybody that really does a podcast. I just look at a lot of folks that do them and say to myself, well, what's your end game? If it's only for money, is it the right thing? Like, if it's for entertainment, information, and growth as far as the people that you speak to, okay, cool. But that's where we're having this conversation about who reports what and what's the benefit of it at all. The one thing I know podcasting does, it gives you the ability to control your own content. If you want to live in this space and say, hey, this is what I choose to report on and how I choose to report on it, that's fine. But I view it the same way as I look at, the way we are as a society. Like if it's right side of the of the political side, that's all they talk about. If it's on the left side, that's all they talk about. Oh. Who actually is, in my opinion, breaking down and telling the truth about what's real? That's the only thing I have with so many podcasts is, and by the way, us being on the radio don't make us better than anybody that has a pod, not even a little bit. It's just that when there's so many, people are clamoring for that notoriety or that moment of when am I going to pop?
Well, let me say this. I'll come off the heels of that and say this. There are plenty of podcasters who are very good at what they do, but they're not broadcasters. There's a difference.
There is a difference.
The really, really good ones are the ones who are and have been in broadcasting who move over into that lane or hybrid work in that lane. I think you hit on some important stuff in what is the ingredients of a good podcast. Guests, that's huge. You mentioned Ken Griffey Jr.
Yep.
The content and what they're willing to divulge and talk about.
Absolutely.
And
good and bad.
Right.
Yeah.
But the ingredients of a podcast for me is those couple of things. And then is it informative? Have I learned something? Like I didn't realize that about Ken Griffey Jr., what you told me. Like that's some raw, real stuff. But the other part is how good are the hosts in setting up that guest to tell the story, and then how good is the guest as a storyteller? And even the hosts, when they share things. Yeah. Really good storytellers make good podcasters because it becomes compelling.
It does.
Especially if it's in a lane of something of your interest.
No doubt. And like for anybody, like, so my youngest man is a lot like me, and he's the talker. I'm going to bring him. I should have brought him in here today, but I think he got basketball this morning. But like, get your reps is what I would tell anybody that's jumping into that space. And I would say this, though, too. If you are a person that are starting on a new podcast or starting your own podcast, you're going to feel like you're talking into a hole and nobody's listening for a while. Ron and I did one while I was still playing in the offseason one year. And I know we had good content, but the way we structured it was not good. We went for like 2 hours and I put the whole thing out there on SoundCloud. Like that retention span as far as the listener doesn't work. It's different algorithms that you have to understand on, to your point, how to grab an audience and get an audience. The other part is what I see in the in our YouTube chat. Knock puts in there, there are no journalistic integrity on some or most podcasts. And I think that's where it comes into play on how people report what they say on those platforms, because it doesn't have to be true. Some people just do it because they just want to talk trash and just get their rocks off and go viral. And it's so different now in a lot of different things. Like we'll talk about the NBA just a little bit this morning, but the rage baiting side of grabbing folks' attention or vague posting is a huge thing right now. And that's where the journalistic integrity of podcasts kind of gets a black eye. You mentioned it a second ago. There are a lot of people that do really good work on podcasts with a lot of information, can back it up, can show you the X's and O's and stuff like that. But some want to grab the attention of your eyes and say, hey, look at me. And next thing you know, you're going down a rabbit hole of nothingness when it comes down to information. I'm with you. The info has to be there. I think a little bit of your reputation has to be able to be backed up. Who can speak for you and say, yeah, that guy knows what the heck they're talking about? That's what kind of bothers me when it comes down to who's saying what in either sports or in life. Well, what do you actually know?
What the person posted in the chat is right, because in a lot of cases, podcasts are an extension of social media platforms where they just on blast all the time. Whether it's right or wrong or whatever, just on blast. I've got a platform and I'm just going to scream it into the void.
And that's what I'm saying. Like for me, and I guess when we do this job, one, the journalistic integrity has to be a part of it, because the moment I lie to you guys who are listening to us this morning on the radio is the moment you stop believing me when I speak what I speak on. And I don't think some people have to hold that when they do their own podcast and just trying to jump out and be noticed.
Well, let's take it a step further too, Ramon, because
that's what real quick. That's what Daniel Jeremiah and his crew you knew when they were speaking that it came from either a really valid source or their own experiences in those moments that backed up why you enjoyed them, to your own personal experience.
That's right. Now, the difference that you just outlined there is we're regulated. The
Yeah,
Federal
we are.
Communications Commissions make sure that we don't say expletives on the air that are out of hand, and there's a handful that you cannot say.
Yeah.
That's just part of it. And then, we're legally held to do a legal ID at the top of the hour with license location and tower site and call letters every top of the like there's things we're held by,
Right.
That some in podcast land would be, well, that's just restrictive. I'm like, well, I get it, but I mean it's regulated by the federal government, and that's what this is, because radio started out as a thing to distribute mass information, good, bad, or indifferent, to the masses of people. And
Yeah,
hopefully
no
not,
doubt.
in a what hits the fan situation, but how you get mad. That's why radios are in cars.
Yeah, absolutely. It is, man. But it's a fun realm to operate in. I've had a good friend of mine try to get me to join a podcast with him. I'm like, I'm too busy. I don't have any time. But it's good to hear the other side, is what I would say.
Sure.
There's a place for it, most definitely. And you also get the freedom to say what you want to on your own podcast because of Amendment 1.
Well, I think, to me, part of the future of podcasts, just in my opinion, are going to be limited series. They're going to be long-standing podcasts that establish, like Joe Rogan has built an empire off of that. It's amazing what he's done with that. But I think when you get the right people together and the right guest and the right topic, a limited series of podcasts that just lives forever and it has a start, a middle, and an end. I think there's a place for that. And there's a lot of those things out there. But I was sad to see this one go, because those two guys are really, really good dudes, trusted. They know their stuff.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about the draft process and just, the league, like if it's the NFL, like you're getting good stuff from both of those guys.
No doubt about it. And those dudes are stand-up guys around the NFL community, too. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. They'll pick up somewhere. And when it's good, people will come and find it. We're watching a guy right now. Speaking of the podcasting era, we're watching a guy and Pat McAfee absolutely run his podcast to the friggin' moon at this point.
Yep.
And he is reportedly in a deal that's $60 million a year, barely less than Patrick Mahomes' new football deal. This guy is a punter in the NFL that's kind of heads his friends, himself.
Remember,
his platform.
This is the one that Peyton Manning said our liquored up kicker shot his mouth off.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes. And now he's getting paid to do it. But here's what I love about Pat McAfee. He's so entertaining. He's just so good.
He brings the energy.
He to me is a necessary side of the sports world. I would say that too. And on a local level, there's some necessary sides to our community too. That's absolutely entrenched in what people choose to listen to as well. A to Z, I think, does a really good job with the content that they put out as well. Shout out to them. Shout out to Austin, them, man. And that to me is where I feel like Pat McAfee's kind of wrecked what ESPN is. Like, I do think they're pushing him a little bit too much when he's on the NBA Finals broadcast, though. But if you're getting paid $60 million, Rhett,
you're going to see a lot of Pat McAfee.
You're going to see a lot of Pat McAfee, man. Yeah. And again, I want to see how far he goes with this. The Dan Le Batard show, absolutely love that one. Come on. Bomani Jones is another one of mine that I tune into from here and there. It's just that whenever there's intellectual thought behind what these people are saying with a little bit of entertainment, I absolutely crave that part of it. So it is it's a lot, is what I would say. And if you are somebody thinking about starting up one, have a platform. You're going to feel like you're working, like you're digging a ditch that needs to be the size of the Grand Canyon and you only got a fork. Like, that's how it feels to do a podcast,
good way to put it.
Because it's hard finding your bearings in that world because it is so many folks.
Well, and to your point, I mean, listen, anybody can get the equipment. I was in Best Buy the other day looking at something for a second, and there's a whole podcast setup right there.
Yeah.
It had a 4-track little board and the mics and all of that stuff.
It's available.
It is available. And not for a whole lot of money, but you better have your game plan together.
Yeah, you do.
And that's why I also feel like the really good podcasts are the ones that hit and tickle the algorithms like they're supposed to, are the ones that have a support staff that know how all of those things work.
Absolutely.
And there are cases where the podcast hoster himself or herself knows those things, and maybe that's where that comes from as well. But usually there's somebody behind the scenes going, yeah, we need to make this real. We need to do this. We need to do that. So
yeah, you eventually you'll get to a point to where you need a team. And again, like either have a name or create a name in the right way. Like the rage baiting side of it is fascinating, but at some point people are going to see a little spill and be like, okay, this is enough of
they'll
this.
get tired of it.
Yeah, for sure.
No, you need something lasting. You're right. All right. More of Ramon and Will with a little training camp crush. Let's talk about people's training camp crushes in Titans history, because training camp is on the way very soon as minicamp cranks up next week. We'll talk about that and more on Ramon and Will here on 104.5 The Zone. Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone. Rat Bryant in for Will Bowling with Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins behind the glass, making it happen. Picking some good bump music, too. Stevie Wonder.
I like it.
Speaking of signed, sealed, delivered, you see, I think there's only 2 first-round picks that are not signed.
Hey, you know what positions they are?
Quarterback.
Well, if we're looking at the scenarios, I get it, especially for those 2 guys. I think when you look at, let's start with Ty Simpson. When you look at Ty Simpson's situation that he's in, I need to be compensated if I'm his agency, and I would probably guess it's probably Jimmy Sexton and crew that's probably his agency. If he's going to sit, then make me feel good about sitting and that I am still a part of your future. Like, I immediately think of the Jordan Love situation. Jordan Love said, 3-4 years before Aaron Rodgers pretty much just said, okay, I'm tired of embarrassing y'all as a franchise. Here's your young quarterback. He never had any time to play. It was coming up on his 5th-year option. He was going to be the starter because he's a first-round quarterback and didn't play. And I think when you look at Ty Simpson in the Rams situation, it's possibly the same exact thing. So how do I set myself up to where you guys just don't cut me after one bad year? If you remember correctly, they had to restructure or move some money around for Jordan Love before, I think, going into that 5th-year option or something, kind of make him feel like, yeah, we believe in you. Because when you got Matthew Stafford in front of you right now with the Rams, and you're probably not going to play much, maybe in 1 or 2 years. They just gave him over $55 million, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I need to know that we're in this thing together. So I get that part from Ty Simpson's side of it as well, considering they're the 2 quarterbacks.
Well, and here's the other part of it. That 2-year extension maybe is just 1 in reality.
No doubt.
Because, I mean, listen, you know how much I harp on this, and I got nothing against Matthew Stafford, but his back's been out of whack for a long time.
Yeah, you're a poet and didn't know it, too.
Yeah. But that's the other part about posturing and positioning yourself with Ty Simpson and his folks in his camp.
Absolutely.
Because a year from now, it could be his show. You don't know. We really don't know. But now, listen, with and part of the reason why this has gone to a little bit of a back burner is the trade that happened a couple weeks ago has put them over the top here.
It has, man. And as far as the Myles Garrett money, the Myles Garrett money that needed to be moved around, I read somewhere that Cleveland had deferred some of his money because his deal was in place, or at least they thought they were going to get it done. So they ended up moving, I think, like $20+ million up to satisfy his original numbers to keep him one of the highest paid players. And of course, the California taxes playing a part in that too. They want to make sure they weren't cheating him. The other part, though, that I'm sure is going to be a conversation piece for the Rams and Ty Simpson that may end up being one is, they'll probably say, well, we moved up to get you. You kind of owe us some money back on the back end. No. I'm the quarterback. I'm treated a little bit different than everybody else, and you probably got to give me a little bit more money based upon who was 12th and who was 14th, because he fall right there in the 13th area. When you look at the Fernando Mendoza side of it, I guess it probably amounts to how much upfront money he's going to get usually when you're the number 1 overall guy. The deal is fully guaranteed, 4 years of it at least. What's the number that you're going to push it up to, that you're allowed to, based on last year's slotted salary, and how much upfront money can you get? Now, the Davises, who are the owners of the Raiders, I don't think they're short on cash, but for a guy that may not start until later in the season, how do you satisfy him with his signing bonus? That's the business side of it, and the expectations of him as well. It's a fascinating approach dealing with young quarterbacks that's coming into the NFL, because once they took away that big signing bonuses before the 2010 season, it changed a lot on how these agents are trying to bracket how their clients get paid.
Yep. You're right. And listen, I'm one of those that believe that Fernando Mendoza is going to be starting sooner than later.
About what week? If you're guessing from weeks 4 to 6?
Yes.
Okay, 4 to 6 he'll be in there. Yeah. Kirk is a good holdover.
He is, but listen, we went to Vegas last year and just kind of saw what that offensive line was and how Ashton Genty was getting contact dang near where he got the ball.
No doubt.
He was behind the line of scrimmage. And I know they've done some things to try to shore that up, but we don't know what that is, because they were not it wasn't just a Pete Carroll problem. It wasn't just a Geno Smith problem. So we'll just see. And listen, Kirk Cousins, bless his heart. I mean, he doesn't have any money. I mean, he just
That deal. Nobody. If there's anybody who's been living right, his name is Kirk Cousins. Do you understand me? The amount of guarantees that he get is fascinating.
He is a man of faith, no question, and apparently the Lord thought he was out there doing the Lord's work.
Yes, he did.
With the money he's been getting for the last 8-10 years.
Believe it.
Hey, training camp crushes. We're getting towards training camp. Mini camp starts next week, mandatory mini camp. Everybody's supposed to report. But I got to thinking about that yesterday, and, I just wonder, and y'all out there listening or in the chat, start throwing them up. Who was your training camp crush for the Titans in the last 25 years? Somebody will say LeGarrette Blount, who slipped out the door.
Yeah.
And then again, there was a position, there was it was a numbers thing there. Jack Doyle, who went to, the Indianapolis Colts and became a very productive tight end.
Was
who
here in camp?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Brett. I got two.
And then those that just didn't pan out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're like, I think that guy's got something, and it just didn't pan out.
Well, that's the thing, though, too, around this time of the year with how stuff is being reported. I'll say this, especially when it comes to, like, the younger guys that come out of college that you'll say to yourself, "Oh, squirrel!" Like pretty much that guy's a Notre Dame. Like he's a Notre Dame alum. This guy went to Miami. I remember him. Or this guy went to Tennessee. Gosh, I want to follow him. And then you get to training camp, Brett. I think you and I both can see like there are levels to being part of the 1%. And sometimes guys that may come from the programs that you love in Washington College that had a lot of success as a team might not individually make it on an NFL roster. And that's the beauty of what training camp is. And I think that's the pressure that's involved in trying to figure out who your 53 are going to be. I will say this. I've seen, to your point about guys who were training camp crushes, they fumble and crumble themselves before the coaches do. One bad day, one bad play will carry sometimes all throughout training camp. Yes, the mental part. I tell anybody, and especially my boys, this game is more mental than it ever is physical. The physical part everybody does. It's a matter of how can I get out of my own way every single day. And that is the beauty of what this process is.
We've seen Will Levis go through it this week.
Brother, we've absolutely seen it. And the ones who know how to carry forward and say, yeah, it was a bad day yesterday, and now I'll get it tomorrow. Or I'll get it the next day. It's always the next day in this process, and I don't think young guys understand that enough.
Titans training camp crushes. What were yours? 615-737-1045, or chime in on the chat, the F&M Bank chat, as you listen to Ramon and Will Rep Brian in for Will Bowling. More in hour 2 next.
Everyone's loving what's happening at Genesis Diamonds right now. Free financing for 5 years. You can make any purchase, pay $0 down, and get 0 interest for 5 years. It's insane. It's not just on engagement rings either. It's also on earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstones, jewelry. Pre-owned Rolex watches are included in this. You can buy now, pay nothing down, and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. So that $5,000 gift comes out to about $85 a month. And that luxury pre-owned Rolex watch, it starts at only $150 a month. This is an amazing offer from the jeweler that's always finding ways to bring you more value. All GIA certified diamonds are included in this. They have rounds, they have princess cut diamonds, ovals, pear shapes, cushion cuts, emerald cuts. Whether you get a $5,000 diamond or a $50,000 diamond, you can spread your payments over 5 whole years. Lab grown diamonds are also included in this. You get the Genesis value price on everything. You pay $0 down, and you spread your payments over 5 years. But here's the thing. You got to hurry because this is a limited time offer. This ends June 30th and will not be extended. Genesis Diamonds are located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
7:01. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Carolina Hurricanes are now one win away from a Stanley Cup title after a 4-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights Thursday night for Game 5. Andrei Svechnikov scored 2 goals, and goaltender Brandon Bussi made 23 of 25 saves in the win. The Hurricanes have not won the Stanley Cup since 2006, and they'll have a chance to hoist the cup Sunday night in Game 6, which is in Las Vegas. NFL news yesterday, the Panthers and wide receiver Jalen Coker agreed to terms on a 3-year extension worth $35 million and incentives up to $41 million. The Denver Broncos, they agreed to a 5-year contract extension with head coach Sean Payton, who's been indifferent since 2023, currently holding a 32-19 record with the Broncos, including an AFC Championship appearance last season. Also, the Chiefs, they are trading former Vols offensive tackle and Chiefs offensive tackle Wanye Morris and a 7th-rounder to the Falcons and a 6th-rounder in exchange. And the 2026 FIFA World Cup officially kicked off yesterday. Mexico got the 2-0 win over South Africa in their Group A matchup. Coming up today, though, the U.S. men's national team starts their Group D play as they face Paraguay in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. Kickoff is set for 8 o'clock on Fox. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Bring it easy once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour 2 of Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. Rhett Bryan filling in for Will Bowling on assignment. This one for matrimony happening this weekend. Ramon Foster riding alongside on a Friday morning.
Yeah.
And we are rolling along into the weekend with you. Justin Hawkins making it happen behind the glass. Coming up at 7:20, Brent Hubbs, VolQuest. Getting towards some very important Vols things in terms of Vol football. Mm-hmm. Catch up with recruiting, practices about to happen, like all of the things, right?
Yeah, it is. It's ramping up. This is the portion of the summer right here where guys get that last 2 packs on that 6-pack, right? It is. This is the time of the year where you grind.
They're dealing with a 4, trying to turn it into a 6.
They're dealing with a 4, trying to turn it into a 6. So they're dealing with a keg, Rhett, and trying to get just the resemblance of a 6-pack. You know, you shred a little bit and you say, you know what, I might be getting me a couple of little packs in there, man. We've all been there. I know I have myself. Or you go from 2 pull-ups to 4. This is that time of the year right now, man, for college athletes. That college workout there's nothing like it. It's just not. It's nothing but the team. You might have some summer classes that you're into right now, maybe 1 class a day, but it's all ball for college teams this time of the year. I think I took at most 6 hours, which is 2 classes. Go check that box, get a little scholarship check behind it if they still do scholarship checks. And then it's workouts. It is warm up, it's a quick run, then it's weight room, then it's conditioning, then it's sand pit, and then it's back inside for indoor run again. And then on top of that, we're going to stretch, hit the cold tubs. It's the closest that they'll get to living an NFL life in the offseason that before actually going to the big leagues.
It's with you describing it that way, I was thinking that sounds like a day that ends in Y over at Vanderbilt Health Football Center where the Titans are, right?
It doggone is, man. It's good times over there, man, at least for me because I don't have to hit anybody on each and every play anymore. I do enjoy watching this process, though, and I know we're going to speak more in, and we got Brent Hubbs coming up next, but we're going to get into more Titans talk about what we saw and what's been reported from Jimmy White and others.
Well, let's do that.
Practices.
You know what? Let's do that right now.
Let's do that right now.
Absolutely. Do a little taste of that before we get to Brent Hubbs at 7:20. What are your observations of 3 days of OTAs that we were invited to come see media-wise?
It's a lot of opportunity for a lot of guys out there. And I say this for this reason. I think the defense is setting itself up to where guys who can play, it will show. You cannot hide it. You cannot hide it, not even a little bit, Red. I told you before we get into that topic, I got 2 camp crushes, man.
Oh, yeah.
That this year in training camp that I'm high on. I've said it. I said their names twice already in the last couple of weeks in watching practice. But David Abuka-Goa, I think he's got some get about him, man.
Number 58.
Absolutely. Yep. He's there. And also Truman Jones, the Harvard grad.
Number 57.
Who was on roster last year. He signed late.
Yeah.
But I look at scheme the same way I look at the way I viewed Restrepo last year. I don't know if last year's game plan, the system fit him, but this one does. I think that's why there's more conversation about a guy like Restrepo in 2026. And I will say this, in my opinion, I think it's more real for him as far as his ability to be an NFL wide receiver in this style of offense. But the two guys that I'm on big time, man, Truman Jones got a lot of get to him, has made some plays, has flashed without pads on, and David Abuka-Agoa, those two guys right there kind of popped to me as of late. I mentioned a little bit yesterday, too, in the secondary part of it as well as a couple guys in that group. Michael Robinson.
21.
Redeeming himself.
Got it. And he's one of those, we were actually talking to some people.
Redeeming himself, man.
We were talking to some people at practice about he's one of kind of the forgotten young guys that played a lot in 2025. And you're right. There's a chance for redemption here. But, man, the guy has flashed all week around the ball. He really has. And made plays.
He's made plays. He's got interceptions. You see him, if you don't remember, earlier this week, it's a guy, Michael Robinson, who Carnell Tate caught the deep ball on, and his picture's all over the picture with Carnell bringing the ball in. Well, he's got his lick back the last few practices.
Yes,
I feel like
has.
last couple of practices. He's been Johnny on the spot with some PBUs. He's had an interception. You can see he took it personal. Like bad plays that happen this time of the year, you get an opportunity to go redeem yourself in these moments because you're going to watch that tape over and over again. There's another practice. And the ones who are right-minded, Rhett, they take it personal and say, this is how I'm going to change it for myself. He and another one, too, and I know you like this guy, man, Keedrain Callaghan. Keedrain Callaghan is another one, 2'9".
Yeah.
Been solid. Been real solid.
He's been around the football a lot, too.
Yes.
I usually don't necessarily declare a camp crush at this particular time.
You got one.
Just because I've got, but there's a couple out there that I'm really, I tell you, there's 2 draft picks that I'm really watching and enjoying. Jackie Marshall.
Yes.
The big D lineman, 96, they took from Baylor.
I thought about him the other day.
He's an athlete now.
He is, and I got to put my eye on him more. He is. So I actually I made it a point to go watch him in the D-line period yesterday. That's where I was on the other side before I came and linked up with you dudes.
And then the other one is the one that we've really, the last 2 practices, start to see him flash. And it's OTAs. But the last pick in this year's draft in Jared Kanik. The converted linebacker from Oklahoma's in the tight end group. And he's could be more of a Swiss Army knife type, but he's working his way into some plays.
He is. He's got good hands from what I've seen. He reminds me, if you're looking for a type, and I've kind of said this, it was you that came up with the nickname we're not ready to give him just yet. Wow.
Yes.
But he reminds me of a Kyle Juszczyk type.
Yes.
Jared Kanik reminds me of that type of player.
Yeah, ask Robert Saleh about that guy.
Yes. No, and that's why.
Yeah.
He's seen this type of player before. It's just like a team that uses a fullback. Well, they probably brought that system somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think he's a part of this team. And he's going to have to play special teams as well. I think the tight end room is kind of stocked. But when you're looking at somebody that could be a lead blocker for you, Jared Kanik has the wiggle to be in motion, make a play, get up and down the line of scrimmage. I'm with you on that one, man.
So all these names we mentioned, you mentioned David Abuka-Agoa.
Yep.
And
Truman Jones. Keedrain Callaghan.
Micah Robinson. And then the 2 draft picks, and Jackie Marshall and Jared Kanik.
Yes.
Those are names you're going to hear a lot in the preseason.
Yes, we better anyway, right? Yeah.
I think you will hear them.
I'm with you there.
And obviously we don't, heaven forbid, no injuries and things, but I'm just saying, barring something unforeseen, I think you're going to hear those names. You're going to hear Taylor Zarzour and yourself speak about these people during the 3 preseason games and maybe even what they did in joint practices leading up to those games.
Absolutely. But this Hank Beatty's another name that continually make plays.
Wide receiver, Illinois.
Hank Beatty.
Number 13.
And again, it's the way it's set up. And the only reason I bring up this offense as an opportunistic offense for people is because you're having guys like Hank Beatty be able to get down the field. Jared Kanik, with as much motions that they have in his offense, to find a space to sit down and go catch a ball and get upfield. I do think Dable's offense is very much in line with what Cam's level of play is too. And we've heard the discord about how Cam's not been great. And I do think there's a lot of truth in that when it comes down to saying, like, hey, there's been some misses, there's been some hits, but when you see Cam, and Jimmy Wyatt wrote it in his observations, and that what I felt like 2-minute drill on yesterday and the day before, Cam cooked. Marched up and down the field, but we don't hear that publicly from a lot of guys because good news don't.
They
move
were
fast.
effective.
They were effective. Or it was 2 days ago. No, on Tuesday there was a play in which who was it? Chimere Dike ended up running around, went inside, went out down the right sideline, and Cam just kind of floated the ball a little bit. He got that play back, and it was the touchdown that we all saw posted to Xavier Restrepo. Like, the corrections, the feel of how do I throw this ball? Like, there's continued growth in each player. Like, I didn't truly feel like a pro. I didn't truly feel like I knew the game. I knew the feel of the game. I knew the flow of the game. I felt like a pro probably at about year 5. Now, you'd expect it to be a lot sooner than that, but the finished product process of getting Cam to where he has the touch that you want him to have, where he is surgical with the football, even in OTAs this time of the year, still staying in the same system. All of these things play a part in it too, like the IE evaluations that have been happening, the
instant evaluators,
evaluation process that's happening currently. I get it. We get new news. We report new news. And we got to go back to some of the old things when it boils down to, okay, did we correct it? I feel like I've seen the corrections in doses from where Cam's had his transgressions. I will agree. There were some passes that, let's go down the post, that kind of floated a little bit too out, kind of floated a little bit too in. Well, maybe if we get another rep, he figures out how to hit that. Or it's so much that goes into the feet. It's so much that goes into the shoulders. It might be pressure because neither one of his tackles are in town right now. Correct. Starting tackles are in town. Correct. I'm not making an excuse for it. I'm just telling you there's more to the story than just, hey, this guy sucks so far in OTAs.
If you're going to make excuses for Cam Ward and anybody else who's been up and down in what we've seen, forget about coaching change and this and that and the other. It's an installation of the offense. This is school. Mm-hmm. This is what this is supposed to be. That's what this time of the year is. They're installing the offense and the defense. And then, Bones is working on his end of it.
And for more context, too, Red, if I was to ask you, what is the more mature side of the ball for this team, offense or defense? We probably go D, right?
Just because of what they added in free agency to help bolster some of that.
Yeah.
I would agree.
And that's where I've always said the offense is usually a tick behind where defense's development is.
Listen, you can almost predict that, Ramon. That's how training camp's going to start.
And the part that I've been stating as of late, I'm not sure you've heard me say this, but I still don't think Cam's the main star in this show. I think he's a co-star. I think the defense will still lead the way in 2026 for the Tennessee Titans. That and hopefully the run game. You heard Coach Robert Saleh yesterday and say Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard are going to be the bell cows. You know what that says? Can I talk business of the NFL real quick? You got 2 guys on expiring contracts. They're going to run them. I've been in this situation. I've lived this situation before with Le'Veon Bell. It was going into his last year. I think Le'Veon had like 450-some touches, passes, and handoffs, okay? Like, that's what you're getting yourself into. I think it's flagrant to expect Cam, in my personal opinion, to be the driving force on this team. Now, is there a portion of his game where you got to see him have a game-winning drive, closing out a first half of the football game or taking care of the football? Abso-friggin-lutely. That's a part of his growth. But to say that, hey, he's going to jump out and be exactly like Patrick Mahomes in year 2, I just don't know if that's going to be the case this year. And I wouldn't want it to be the case.
No, because that's what you've tried to do with in additions that they've done to try to help him, so he does not have to do, air quotes over here, hero ball all the time. We want it in spaces and times, just like you mentioned.
Yeah, when it's good, I want it to stay good.
Running 4-minute, running 2-minute.
Yeah, and being able to protect
situational
the ball.
Play. Yeah.
The growth that I've seen, somebody asked that question a couple of days ago. The growth that I've personally seen is this. Cam's ability to stay in the pocket has shown. You don't see him rolling out unless Coach Dable asks him to roll out. When there's been moments where he gives a fake handoff and stands in the pocket, you see him driving upfield in the pocket and
climbing the pocket.
Yes. You don't see him rolling out and being skittish with the ball.
That's right.
So that's one growth department that he's been in. Maybe that's step one of step 2, 3, 4, and 5 that we'll see throughout the duration of the season.
Yep.
It's a fascinating approach to development, man.
It is.
We got a lot of
and there's not an
people.
exact science to it because there are humans involved who make errors.
It is.
That's where we're at.
That's why you have a defense.
All right, we're going to pause on the Titans talk because we're going to talk Vols coming up with our good friend Brent Hubbs, the master of Vol Quest. We're going to talk about the Tennessee Volunteers and football, and there's all kinds of things to ask about. There's a quarterback competition. There's recruiting, all of that. It's on the way as you listen to Ramon and Will here on 104.5 The Zone.
We've got a huge announcement from Two Rivers Ford just in, man. And I think you've heard me say this before, but Two Rivers Ford is offering employee pricing for everyone. You're probably asking yourself, what does that mean to me? Well, that means you pay what they pay on almost every new Ford on the lot. And at Two Rivers Ford, what you see is always what you get. They don't do things like add expensive accessories or tack on service packages to increase the price of the vehicle that you see online. No, absolutely not. Two Rivers Ford is upfront and honest every single time, and they are offering you employee pricing. And the price that you see online when you go to the lot will be the price that's on the vehicle in real time as well. There's no better time to buy American. There is no better dealership than Two Rivers Ford. They are locally owned and operated for over 40 years. And I think that statement right there stands up in itself, man, because being in business for 40 years, that tells you about what they are as a business and how good of a work that they do. They're home also of the non-commissioned sales team and now home of employee pricing for everybody. Local, honest, real. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone. Rhett Bryan in for Will Bowling, who's getting married this weekend. And how about that? Nitty Gritty Dirt Band leading us back in, which you can only mean one thing. We are joined by the great Brent Hubbs, VolQuest.com. Brent, how are we doing this morning?
I'm doing great. It also means one thing. Ramon Foster had no idea that was singing that song. But that's okay.
I didn't on that one, Hubbs. I'll be honest right there. I was lost, but I like the tune of it, man. Who was this again?
Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Yep.
Hubbs, man. Well, how you doing this Friday?
I'm good. What's y'all's best advice for Will this morning? Y'all doing like a whole segment on wedding advice for Will Bowling today?
You know, we haven't. That actually is a very good idea.
We should.
You might have just sparked something.
Man, mine yesterday to him was don't lock your knees. I feel like
I think that's valid.
Will would lock his knees and pass out.
Yeah,
man.
we
It's
can't do
such
that.
a big moment for him.
Because it's outside and it's going to be hot.
It is going to be hot. What would you give him, Hubbs?
Don't lock your knees. I'm trying to figure out why he couldn't work this morning. I mean, is he in the Lane Kiffin massage world? Is he getting a little hot yoga in? Is he in the tanning bed? Like, what's he doing this morning to get ready? The wedding's tomorrow, right?
That's exactly. Hubbs, the day before my wedding, I went and worked out, man. Like it was a regular off-season training session. Like, what is he?
You thought you were Ed Orgeron trying to get your guns ready for the ceremony.
You know me all too well, Hubbs. You know me all too well. But I'm with you. Like, maybe it's the nerves. I don't know what it is, but I told him, I was like, hey, remember, this is her day. Don't make it about you is the biggest advice I can give to any guy, man.
And that
Get out the way.
Get out
of the way.
That's right.
And answer when the minister asks you a question. That's your only job.
That's pretty
all
much
you gotta
it.
get done.
You do that, you're winning.
Just real quick, Hubbs, did you have a big wedding? Did you do courthouse? Like, if thinking back, I'd have probably did courthouse. No, seriously. Listen, we had a phone go off in our wedding, okay? And I was just thinking to myself, like, we should have just went to the courthouse if we wanted this.
We did ours at the church.
Did you?
And so I was a little nervous. I can admit it now. I was a little nervous. So like 30, 45 minutes before the ceremony started, I was out in the front greeting people like I was the usher or something.
Hey, good to see you. I appreciate you coming.
That's exactly what I was doing. I'm like, what am I supposed to do for the next 30 minutes? So I really don't know what Will's supposed to be doing for the next 30 hours. But, you do whatever you got to do, man.
Whatever.
Maybe he's playing golf today. Maybe he's going to get around to golf.
You said he acting like he got to put on makeup or something. He ain't got to do none of that.
Yeah. Might want to shave. Put on your suit. Let's go.
Are we suggesting he's going to the hairdresser this morning?
He's already done that. He's already been to the barber this week. So he's got that one checked off the list.
Hey, if he walks in that doggone venue, Hubbs, with some Justin Timberlake frosted tips, I'm gonna lose my mind, okay?
Oh no.
I'm gonna throw an egg at him like them New York fans did Wemby, okay?
Listen. There is no chance his sweet soon-to-be wife is letting him walk in with some frosted tips now.
I would agree with that.
He might have to leave the venue. Just leave.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even need to be here now.
He doesn't. Not even a little bit, man. But I'll be happy to be there. It should be a good, grand old time, man. He said it's open bar.
Yeah, there we go.
That.
Yeah, he's got some crafted cocktails there, too.
Yeah, he does. Well, he got his own drink, too, Hubbs. I mean, that's probably the most that he should do. Have your own drink of the day for the groom.
There it is. All right, let's get to some Vols stuff here because will take care of all that over the weekend. I'm going to start with the quarterback competition, Brent, and, Faison Brandon and George McIntyre, and that's been the story basically all off season. What are you looking for, Brent, that might help Josh Heupel in a separator part of this in naming a starter in the coming weeks?
Well, he's not going to do it till after the second scrimmage.
Right.
It's going to be about who makes plays, who can move the ball, who leads the offense, who do the players believe in and rally around. Josh Heupel has said it on multiple occasions that you win it in front of your teammates. And what that means to him is you got to go out and earn it in front of your teammates, plain and simple. Players know. No offense to coaches, they make a lot of money, but the players know who it should be. It's not a popularity contest. These guys want to win. Offensive linemen want to win. Receivers, running backs, they all want to win. So they don't care if it's their best friend or they're not their best friend. Who gives them the best chance to win games? That's who they want to play with, and they know who that is. And Josh Heupel understands that as a former quarterback, which is why he keeps saying you got to win it in front of your teammates starting this summer. And I think it's decision-making. I think it's who takes care of the ball, but who's aggressive enough to move the sticks and move the ball. As Joey Halsey likes to say, you got to rip it sometimes. You can't be afraid and be, check down Charlie all the time. You got to take some chances and windows and believe in yourself. And, I just think that's what this competition is about right now, and it's what it's going to be about for the next, 2 months, basically, until we get to the finish line with this thing in August.
Brent, you mentioned he's not going to name a starter till after the second scrimmage. What makes that the proper timeline in naming a starter?
Well, for it's 2 scrimmages, so it gives a chance to make sure somebody's not a one-hit wonder in one scrimmage, or something wasn't necessarily tailor-made. Listen, coaches can manipulate a scrimmage to make it look however they want to look, right? So make sure you're not tailor-making something for one particular guy. One bad day doesn't necessarily mean you lose it. One good day doesn't necessarily mean you win it. You're looking for some consistency. But when you come out of that second scrimmage in the Josh Heupel preseason calendar, you move into a mock game week the next week. And when you go into a mock game week and you're going through all of the routines of what Monday through Friday should look like to get ready to play on Saturday, Heupel would like for his, for everybody to know who his quarterback is to go through the mock game week. And so that's kind of always been his timeline for naming a starter. He can name it a different time, but that's when he has done it throughout his career. And it's in conjunction with the mock game week and after you get 2 scrimmages to really show yourself. So that's kind of the reasoning behind the calendar for Josh Heupel.
Joined by Brent Hubbs of All Question on 3 this morning. Hubbs, we had Swain on a couple of days ago, and I think he got lightly upset because when we had Austin on, he was like, Austin tell y'all stuff he don't tell us over here in Knoxville. And he just kind of felt a little way about that, man. And one of those little nuggets he kind of gave to us was that it seems that the Vols will probably have smaller classes but higher quality of prospects when it comes down to who they choose to swing in. And I guess the way Austin kind of explained it, or the way I took it, was why spend money on high caliber guys just to have them on the sideline? It seemed like that's what the Vols are trying to do right now with the Ohio State commitment, defensive line commitment, DJ Jacobs, and also Ishmael Kamara as well. How do you see the Vols approach this offseason and kind of moving forward with what they've learned about this recruiting process moving forward?
Well, it's not black and white. And I think for fans, that's the challenge in understanding the new world of recruiting. For years, it was about 25. And then if you could back count somebody, you might get to 28, but some classes were going to be 23 because you were pushing the 85 number. And that was always the number you were going to work off of because you were trying to build depth, stack bodies, and, put yourself in a situation where you've got enough, you've got development guys that you're looking at for 2 years down the road or 3 years down the road that might be able to help you. That's just not the world we live in right now. Yeah. And it's a little bit of an NFL model, but it's not exactly the NFL model, but it is a little bit like that. And what I mean by that is if you feel like you're in a window right now of making the playoffs, making a run, do you invest highly in high school players, or do you look at where you have 2 or 3 holes and say, man, if we could plug somebody really high end in that position and spend some money there, what does that give us a chance to be next year? What does that give us our chance? So if you're bringing back a quarterback and you're bringing back a bunch of offensive linemen, but you think you're short at receiver, but, man, you think we're missing one real part on offense. Do you go high school receiver and hope that he can contribute as a freshman, or do you go out and find a guy who's in the portal that had nearly 1,000 yards receiving the year before at a school and you feel like he could step in and help you? Look, we're the Los Angeles Rams right now. We don't know how many more years. We don't know how many more years Matthew Stafford has. Right now, at the rate he's going, he might play when he's 62, but we don't think he's going to. Right. Yeah. So what are they trying to do? And what's the Rams been like for 10 years? Essentially, they are a win now franchise. Mm-hmm. So what did they do? They went and got a receiver in a trade pre-draft. to help Matthew Stafford, and then they went and got Myles Garrett. Why did they get Myles Garrett and let Jared Verse go? Because it's a win-now mentality. In college athletics, it's not to that degree, but we're moving into that world a little bit. And so if you think you're in a cycle where your window is wide open to have a chance to win the thing, then you're going to probably go a little more portal. If you think you're in a bit of a rebuild deal like Alex Golesh is at Auburn and some of these other places, man, they're going to go heavy into high school ranks because they're trying to build a culture and build a roster for the next couple of years. It just is going to depend, in each cycle. There's not going to be a hard, fast rule. Man, we're a portal program. Man, we're a high school program. It's not going to be like that. It's going to vary year to year depending on what your roster looks like.
Oh, doubt. Joined by Brent.
And by the way, tell Swain to read VolQuest. He'd know all this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's easy.
He got the news and the audio.
Go to the source.
He's from Alabama. We got to check and see if he can read well all the time.
I didn't say that.
I didn't either.
That's my brother, and I love him. And I told him we take care of his daughter while she's in Nashville for college, too. So we're good. But, Hubs, man, there's just been a lot of news, man, coming out about this gambling and Brendan Sorsby and Texas Tech and the Big 12 and everything else involved. The end game seems to be at some point a CBA. AD Danny White has been huge on this. Hubs, one, how proud are you of the college football coaches in other schools by pushing back on somebody that's had gambling issues? And where are you at on the CBA side of things? Because I don't think that's an easy process of hashing out who's in it. Do you put all 138 teams in it if that's all D1 schools? Where are you at in this week of news for gambling and also a CBA?
Well, I think there's a chance that the news this week is a catalyst for change, a real catalyst for change. Because the previous issues people have had, there's some people who just say, get over it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we don't have as much money as you have. Well, get over it. That's not my fault. We don't think kids should transfer as much. Well, coaches can move whenever they want to move or whatever. Like, get over it. So there's been some fight back. There's not a lot of fight back out there where people go, wait a minute. A guy who gambled in his sport has been banned from the Hall of Fame, who was the greatest hitter in baseball by the numbers. Mm-hmm. But we're going to let a quarterback play after a 2-game suspension who clearly gambled on his sport and on his team this past year. There's not a lot of people who are, about integrity in sport and the competition and the purity of sport that look at that and go, yeah, that's okay. And so what happens is there's a little bit of unitedness in finally something that really bothers everybody. Now, all this talk about boycotting and not playing this team and doing all that, that's not going to happen, okay? And the scary part, too, yesterday is the Attorney General from Texas came out and said, hey, if you try to do anything to this Texas Tech program, Big 12, I'll see you in court. So now the conference commissioners and the conference doesn't have any power over its members? That's another scary part to this. The problem with the CBA is the layers of complication with that are deep. And it's, hey, who all do you let in? Who's in charge? Who's going to manage the union? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Why would players want to sign that? Why would a player want to limit the amount of money he can make? What's his protection? Do they have any issues right now? I can renegotiate every year. If I don't like what I negotiated, I can negotiate it 2 weeks later if the portal window is still open. I have complete and utter freedom to do what I want to do. Why would I want to get in a collective bargaining agreement? What's the advantage for me as a player? That's what lawyers are going to tell players. And so the question then becomes, how do you get the players united? Because remember, they've never been invited to the table for a discussion about anything. Oh, we caught trains and planes and automobiles or whatever, and we've all run to Washington to have hearings and meetings. Has a player been there?
No.
Have we let the players, really have a conversation about things? This last one they had some players. I don't think there was a D1 player there in football.
Right.
So and it's Division I basketball, Division I football, where you got to work through things with the players. No offense to the Olympic sports, because they're important. But the cross-country runner doesn't have the same voice as the football player has right now, because the cross-country player or athlete is not generating the revenue and doesn't have the leveraging power that the football player has. The football player and the basketball players, they need a seat at the table for discussion. So I think eventually we'll probably get to a CBA, but it may force a breakaway from that. Who all is really ready for a breakaway? I don't know. But back to the core of your question, Ramon, is does the Sorsby case really promote change? Because when you have radical change, genuinely you have a really key moment that leads to that change. And is this that key moment? We'll find out in time.
No doubt. Hubs, the other part of this for me is just looking at the grand scheme of what you're asking this group to do with a CBA, because at least in the NFL or NBA or NHL with their CBA, their ownership, like, well, an AD or president can be fired. You know, like that's the other side of it as well. And the part that I want to bring up is, will we treat this CBA the same way we've treated streaming versus cable? Like, I think everybody wanted streaming. And then you realize I got to buy every subscription to watch every game that I want to right now. And now we want cable back. And the only reason I bring that up is I think the DNA of what college is. And I enjoyed it this way because I felt like it was more simple. But the money under the table was just, okay, that's a part of the business. If you give these institutions and coaches a guideline in which they got to operate, does that bring back, okay, you get your deal, but I'll slip mom $100,000 still under the table, because I do think that's a part of the DNA of college that's not a part of the DNA of the pro leagues. Do you see that being an issue with this?
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, we don't think there's some fringe benefits going on these days. Even with rev. I mean, listen, we were supposed to cap it at rev share, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is any football roster $20 million for this fall?
They're throwing 50 out there.
Hey, if it's $20 million, you ain't competing. Okay, I mean, basketball rosters for 15 players are $20 million. What do you think a football roster of 60 guys, 55 guys contributing is going to end up being, right? Yep. So, I mean, I think that part's never going to go away in different forms. The problem right now is all they're doing every time they put a cap or a number out there is they're just raising the price of everything. That's the one point Nick Saban made when he was in front of Congress or the Senate hearing. That was absolutely right. All you've done is what cost you $15 million 2 years ago is now costing you between $30 and $40 million.
Wow.
Okay, well, what's it going to be next year? 50, 60? Where are we going to get to? 75? Like, where's the number when the balloon pops? Is there a number when the balloon pops? That's the $1 million question that you have. I think there is a moment where the balloon pops. I don't know what it is. I don't know how much it is. But if you don't put some parameters in place, at some point it is going to bust, and people are going to go, I can't pay this anymore. I can't do it. We can't, and I think that's the dangerous thing with high school players right now. High school players are asking for a lot of money. Wow. Well, if you're a GM, are you sitting there going, wait a minute, I'm going to pay that kid $500,000 a year and he may not contribute for 2 years? Or do I want to go spend $600,000 or $700,000 on a guard who can come in and is a plug-and-play starter right away? What's more beneficial to me? I'll pay the extra $100 for a guy who can step in and play right now, as opposed to the high school player that I don't think we can stick him out there and survive right now. He's going to need a year to develop. Now, there's others when you're going to pay, like David Sanders. I said it on the show a year ago when we were talking about David Sanders. He's first-round draft pick. He's got to start.
Yeah.
You get David Gabriel Georges, guess what he's doing?
Starting.
He's got to go to the backfield and start. I can't have game 4, well, he's still got to learn pass protection. No, you got too much money invested in that. You got to play. Mm-hmm. It's no different than Jeremiah Love. You're not sitting Jeremiah Love, right? You're not sitting Bijan Robinson.
Right.
You pay that much money for a first-round pick. Cardell Tate, he got to play. Yeah. He doesn't get a year to figure it out. You got to go play because that's where your investment's at. We're doing that in the high school ranks. That guy better be able to step right in and play right away. And, Ramon, there's positions in college football. It's really hard to do that as a freshman.
It is.
Brent
They're asking
Hubbs.
for a lot. They're asking for a lot of money, Ramon. They're asking for Ramon Foster money.
There it is. There it is.
Well, let me make sure I get my boys together so we can just cash in while it's hot then.
Buddy, you got more deals and more NIL cash going on than anybody I've ever seen.
Hubbs, you know. Everybody
I'm not
eats.
even
Everybody eats, man.
Everybody, you're bumping people out of the buffet line. Ain't nobody getting to eat. Man. You're the only one eating.
Hey, in the words of Don King, this is America, right?
Brent Hubbs, VolQuest, and On 3. Excellent insight as usual. Appreciate it, your time this morning, and have a great weekend, brother. Appreciate talking to you.
Hubbs.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great weekend.
All right.
too.
Take care. He's one with nature, too. How about the birds singing the whole time back there? I thought Snow White was hanging out, eavesdropping on the call.
Easy Disney movie in the background.
But he brings up so many valid points with all of that. Because this Brendan Sorsby thing, it may be the tipping point.
On his last part, I have a take. We come back after this.
Let's do that. Let's do that. More of Ramon and Will when we continue on 104.5 The Zone. Rolling through the rest of hour 2, Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone. Rhett Bryan in for Will Bowling. Ramon Foster alongside. Justin Hawkins rolling with some great bump back music. Bobby Caldwell.
Beautiful.
What You Won't Do for Love. You know how many people realize that, like, you've heard that song for forever?
Yeah.
He's not a black guy.
No, he's not.
Like, he's
fair skinned as
he's
heck.
a fair rest his soul. He's not with us anymore, but yeah, he's a white guy from New York.
But that era was so cool, and I like I'm watching Mad Men, so I've heard them use his word lately. It's groovy, like the way he was smooth in his approach to enjoying R&B. I mean, they just jammed out, man.
Not only that, but the song still stands, and that song's going on 50 years old. Mm-hmm. And then you can play it anywhere.
What You Won't Do for Love?
Like at your granddaddy's club.
Yes, absolutely.
It'll play there. It'll play in a white club. It'll play in
at a wedding. Anywhere, right?
Absolutely,
man.
Absolutely.
Intermissions at high school basketball games. You'll slowly see people rocking back and forth listening to it, man.
So we just had Brent Hubbs from VolQuest and On 3, and you asked him about the potential tipping point in the world of college football with what happened with Brendan Sorsby, who had a Texas judge rule a temporary injunction that made him eligible for the Texas Tech Red Raiders in 2026, even after a gambling decision that, he suspended 2 games for gambling. And to his point, he was mentioning Bart Giamatti banned, as the former commissioner of baseball, banned Pete Rose from the Hall of Fame, the greatest hitter in the whole deal, for placing bets on, his own anyway. But you wanted to come back with something about the money's part of this as it pertains to NIL, transfer portal, and that.
It does. I think for parents that have kids, like we spoke about this, just like, the upstream that's coming downstream, like the poison in the water. Eventually, it hits downstream. Downstream is the high school ranks. It's the smaller school ranks, right? And that's where I would say to parents who are in this process of having somebody chase their dream schools, or, hey, you grew up a fan of this team, you might have to go to a smaller school in Missouri to get what you're looking for, because with what Vanderbilt did to reset themselves, what Indiana did to win the national championship, right? You spoke about this once before. You covered games last year with Taylor Zarza.
We did the Utah State and Vandy game at West End. There were grown men on those trenches, on the defensive and offensive line. That is where I saw where NIL and transfer portal had worked for in a place like Vandy that had been known for long-standing, successful football program. There's been periods throughout 100 years plus. But you look on the roster, I'm like, that guy's 26, that guy's 24, that guy's 25. Like grown men. We're not talking about kids out of high school. Grown men.
That should be in the second year of their contracts in the NFL. I mean,
Correct.
It'd be in the second contract in the NFL. So that's where I'd say this process for what college is got to get cleaned up, because this was supposed to be for amateurs, 17 and 18-year-olds, maybe 19-year-olds going into college to develop. And now you're having kids that would have gone like Inky Johnson, my good friend, a 2-star from Atlanta. He wouldn't have been at the University of Tennessee in this era. He would have had to go somewhere else, and probably would have sent him to another school and another destination. The lower 2 stars are the guys who are trying to, or myself, a 3-star. I might have been told to leave after year 1 if I didn't take the steps that the coaching staff needed me to have, because that's the other part of managing these rosters as well. Why let me develop over 2 years when they can go get a guard, as Hub just told you, that they can pay $500,000 for, that's going to play in 2026 instead of waiting on me in 2029 or 2027.
The only ones that are going to go to their dream schools are the 5 stars. And the thing is, they're going to dictate and change the game in their own way, because they're going to go, you know what, I didn't get enough playing time. I'm going wherever.
Absolutely. And it's a delicate process, and I hate it for the parents who are training up their kids and having to readjust to what's acceptable as far as the school that you want to go to, because everybody want to go to a Penn State and Ohio State, et cetera, or Tennessee or Alabama. And that phase, that era is a little different now.
Ramon and Will continues hour 3 next, right here on your home for the Titans and the Vols, 104.5 The Zone.
It's Ramon Foster, and I'm with Aaron from United Structure Systems. Man, they came by today to check out my house. If there's anything, any issues, small or big, you're gonna fill us in there.
We can take care of it no matter what kind of problems. So first off, we'll just kind of take a look through your house and see what kind of issues you got going. You know, cracks in the brick, cracks in the drywall, weird spots in the floor, doors sticking, windows not opening properly. Once we identify those areas, we're going to do a thorough inspection around the outside, make sure there's no issues going on with that. And then once we look over it, we'll talk about what's going on, and hopefully we ain't got no issues, and then we'll go from there.
Let's go. Let's go.
Mr. Foster, so we have looked at the issues that you brought up. We had the drywall in the attic up here above your bonus or your garage. You had some doors sticking.
I did.
Going in your bathroom. So we've inspected all that. We don't see any major structural concerns. So you're going to be one of our lucky good news customers today. There is some minor deflection there. That's not an uncommon thing. As any house is built, it's its biggest and its strongest the day that it's born. Gotcha. Right? And from that point, it just gets older, just like us. We ain't hopping up out of bed, taking off down the hallway, running down the stairs anymore.
Not protecting quarterbacks anymore.
No.
Opening up late. We're done.
Your guard ain't there no more.
Okay,
so.
I got you.
So it just happens. It gets a little older and it starts to deflect. Now, there are some things we can do to kind of help adjust those doors, mainly adjusting in the door, which we don't necessarily do, and maybe doing some light shimming in the crawl space down there to address those sticking doors. But for now, no major issues there. We did talk about the grading in the back and some issues that we can take care of back there for you. But that's pretty much up in a nutshell. No big issues and you're good to go. So.
Awesome. So again, what you deal with United Structural Systems is it's upfront, it's honest, and now I can sleep peacefully at night, okay?
This is a different court, Blair.
Same result, Slay.
Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jerry's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair, stop. You're gonna get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair?
The courtroom is where I play ball.
Boy, Durham, injury law, and that ain't got no roof.
The guaranteed offer is the simplest, least stressful way to sell your home. You go to our website, you fill out a quick form, we set an appointment, we bring you an all-cash offer. Literally, there's no lockbox on the front of your house, there's no showings, we pay all cash, we close in as little as 21 days, stress-free. We've helped thousands of homeowners just like you sell your home the hassle-free way with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
Halftime over, hour 3 of 4 hours every morning, weekdays, 104.5 The Zone. Rhett Bryan in for Will Bowling on Ramon and Will. Ramon Foster alongside, the 11-year NFL vet, VFL, and color analyst for your Tennessee Titans on Titans Radio.
Yeah.
Justin Hawkins behind the glass, making it all happen. And I hope everybody's having a great Friday so far. One thing I would like for us to speak about this hour, and I got to thinking about this. First of all, Game 4 of the NBA Finals Wednesday night, ridiculous.
Yeah, they were.
Good God.
No game tonight either, by the way. I thought they were going every other night.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
I guess it's a travel. Is it a travel?
They were before the finals, I think, going every other day, regardless of the fact. But yeah, travel day.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And they need a little recovery with all the beating they've been doing.
The New York Knicks execute the biggest comeback in NBA history in Game 4 of the NBA, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then I saw Adam Schefter retweeted or posted a thing this morning saying the Knicks led for exactly 53.8 seconds of that game.
Insane.
That's it.
That's it. I know. And it looked like this. This is one of those just never forget crumbles that I've ever seen in sports. The way the Spurs dominated. You had Wemby mocking Mitchell Robinson. I'm in your head. Like the entire setup of the Garden. Like I enjoyed watching it. Just listen to the crowd, because when you're in one of those big events like the NBA Finals or Super Bowl or playoff game, the crowd is different. They understand ball a little bit more. You're invested in it a little bit more. And Madison Square Garden was quiet.
Dollars.
Yeah.
You're invested in it for sure.
Yeah, you are. And when you chasing those sticky trophies at the end of the year, man, like everybody's invested in the process, and there was absolutely no smiles whatsoever inside Madison Square Garden until like the last 58 seconds.
Well, I mean, this is, and it didn't decide it, but it may end up deciding the series. But I mean, it's echoes and shadows of the Super Bowl with Atlanta and New England.
Yeah,
with Atlanta up 28-3 at halftime.
It absolutely does, man. And I got to give it to the NBA. I don't know if the ratings numbers are out just yet. And I'll be honest with you, this is part of my new just small J journalism. Like, what are good numbers? What are not good numbers when it comes down to broadcast? But the NBA's crushed it. I know the first 3 games, the first 2 games that's been reported as far as ratings, it's been through the roof.
Yep.
It's absolutely been through the roof. Will Bowling, our teammate here, has been huge on we like big brands and Super Bowls and championship games and stuff like that because it draws more. It's more entertaining. But in general, these 2 games have been good. New York being a part of it, the Knicks has been a jolt that I think the NBA will run off of for a very long time. And I think it'll change the way teams are structured going into this offseason. I think the Spurs need one more guy. There's still conversation about Ja Morant being traded out of Memphis. Well, somebody's going to come for Ja, right? When it comes down to a big market saying he's the guy that's going to help us get over the top. But it just shows, again, the power of market and also just stars.
I say it all the time. And we laugh about it because, I mean, you played in that division for 11 years, but the Cleveland Browns winning football games is good for the NFL.
I agree.
The Green Bay Packers, the New York, the big markets, the Rams, all eyes are going to be in Los Angeles this year after the Myles Garrett trade.
Like Hubs brought that up, like they're all in.
Yeah, he's in a college lane. He's like, I'm aware.
He gets it.
Now, Hubs is a smart guy, but I'm just saying his radar is strong.
He gets it, but it also, I think, just the part that I think was most important on what Hubs brought up about the Rams pouring in, or we've seen, I bring up the 2017 Jacksonville Jaguars, we've seen pour in. We've seen Philadelphia do the exact same thing. We're attempting to see the Patriots and, of course, the Buffalo Bills and the Chicago Bears buy into the same thing. Heck, in the AFC South, you got the Houston Texans that are doing the exact same thing. Now, in order to live that life, though, Rhett, you also got to be able to see that the window's open. And that's where, if you're watching from the outside, it's good to see your young players like Chimere Dike, like Alec Ayumana, like Cam Ward grow up a little bit. When you hear good stuff about Keldrick Falk, because eventually when those guys grow up and mature, Carnell Tate, when that window opens, the aggressiveness that you expect from front offices is a part of that well. And I think that's a portion of this era of sports that needs to be looked at. We're looking at the Predators right now. Go get a guy from the Colorado Avalanche.
Yep.
And what has he done to those picks, Hawk, year after year? Screw those picks.
Bleep them.
Bleep them. they're in win now because there is so much of an investment from the viewer. Right. I got probably 5 different services that I need to watch the games that we enjoy during those seasons. Yeah. You have the exact same thing. Or we're borrowing each other's.
You still have a profile on my Peacock.
That's what I'm saying.
On my Peacock
because
plan.
The NFL uses Peacock, right?
That's right.
And I think the investment from the consumers.
You got Chucky as your emoji.
I do.
That's very fitting.
I'm a sicko like that. Yeah, 100%. But I think the investment that the consumers we make nowadays, we kind of expect that a little bit more in this era. Like, you don't expect the 93 Bulls to just be all homegrown like that anymore.
Yeah. So what got me thinking about this game was just, and we want you to chime in on the F&M Bank chat or certainly on the phones at 615-737-1045, because this hour we're going to talk about what are some of the most awesome and greatest games that you've witnessed. You either were there in person, you saw it on TV, where were you when something happened? And there's a million in sports. There's some really good. I mean, I'm instantly, when I think about college football that we talked about so much last hour with Brent Hubbs, the 2006 Rose Bowl between VY and Texas against Southern Cal with Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush. I mean, there's NFL players all over both sides, both of those teams, and how that thing played out with VY having like 400 and something yards from scrimmage. And I'll give you one that I will never forget because I love watching college football bowl games. How about the 2007 Tostitos Fiesta Bowl? Oklahoma and Boise State.
The Statue of Liberty.
The Statue of Liberty play.
Yeah.
Man, they sold that sucker so well. It even juked the announcers. The team calling that, I can't remember who was calling that game. They were like, whoa, wait a minute.
Exactly. I got another one from 2007 that jumped off the entire season. Paid this team $400,000 to come play them. At that time, I never even really heard of this university, not even a little bit.
I know where you're going.
And it changed their trajectory and what they are for years to come. So much so now that even current college teams really don't want to play them. Number 5, Michigan versus Appalachian State. In front of 109,000 people read. They shocked the world. They shocked the world. And App State, in my personal opinion, in 2007, hadn't been the same ever since.
No.
Like you know who they are now because of that game. What is that? Almost 20 years ago now. That game right there, I remember watching it like thinking, it can happen to anybody. I never even heard of who App State was. Like, did a little bit of research on that one. Like, but
I think they're in Boone, North Carolina.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they were FCS team referred to a division. They were Division I AA right at the time. Sure. And nobody expected them to be the top 5 team. Like, you want to talk about a heartbreaker? Like, sitting in 07 at UT at the time thinking like, wow, Michigan.
You go to the big house, you get paid, and you go home with a win.
And you go home with a dub. It changed everything about Appalachian State from that moment moving forward.
But think about that. Both of these cases we just brought up, that's 19 years ago, and I still remember them like yesterday.
I do, too. I remember watching App State celebrate on that field, man. By far one of the coolest things I ever felt like I saw at the time. What an era that was, right?
But there are plenty of examples, and we're starting to get some phone calls here in this. But, we want to know what's, in your opinion, one of the greatest games or most electric games. And it doesn't even have to be a large comeback. It doesn't have to be that at all. Just electric moments. Like, I don't know if ESPN still does this, but Game 4 of the NBA Finals, that's an instant classic. Remember when they used to do that stuff?
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Speaking of instant classics, though, I throw another one there as we starting to get more and more calls. The Jordan push-off against the Jazz. Watching that and hearing the back and forth conversation of was it a push-off, Jordan rules being a part of it.
Yep.
But just the moment in which Jordan could really cap off his Hall of Fame career and be 6 times in an NBA Finals and getting 6 World championships to me is by far one of the coldest things ever.
I think that's what the NBA in those moments you're trying to capture in an organic moment is trying to get back to. And I think that's kind of what we have going on with the NBA Finals this year.
It is
those kinds of things.
Absolutely love it, man.
All right, the phone lines are lighting up here. Let's go to CJ in Nashville. Hello, CJ.
What's up, CJ? Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. Man, I seen a game in person one time that it was just a performance that was crazy for me. I went to a Memphis Grizzlies game, and Draymond Green was 4 points away from a quadruple double. He had 11 steals.
Yeah.
That was crazy. As far as like games that I saw like on TV, I was at Thirsty Turtle when the Falcons blew the big lead against Tom Brady. That was insane.
Yep.
Then I seen the Ray Allen shot at home, and I'm a Heat fan, so I was excited about that. So yeah.
Yeah, we
But all on cable though, regular cable. No
cable, yeah.
No streaming.
No streaming.
Good point, CJ. Appreciate the call.
Great point right there. All on cable. We didn't have to go to that, man.
We did not.
God,
but somebody thought about it, and here we are,
and
right?
Here we are,
Back to the phones we go. Gator Mike. What's up, Gator Mike?
What's up, Gator Mike? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Always great to hear y'all. My first one is a crushing comeback. 1994, I was telling Justin, Florida was at Doak Campbell Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They were winning 31-3, and Florida State scored 28 unanswered in the fourth quarter to tie the game, and the game ended in a tie, 31-31. Choke at the Doak, as it's more formally known.
Choke at the Doak.
But then my redemption of that, Ramon, you'll appreciate this one, 1995, I think. Florida, Tennessee in the Swamp. Tennessee was up 31-20, I think, at halftime, and Florida scored like 48 unanswered.
Yeah.
31-24, something like that. Anyways, they scored that 48 unanswered in the second half to make it like a blowout. Jay Graham with the not like himself 2 fumbles in the second half in that game, if you remember as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. God, hey, Gator Mike, you bring up a great point. Appreciate it. If clear my throat for this one. We're talking about big sports moments, and I'm okay. I like a little. I ain't gonna say abuse. That sounds real crazy to say that, but a little dose of reality. If I don't on this topic, Rhett, and we're calling it the best sports moments that you've witnessed or been a part of, correct? That's how we kind of frame it.
Yeah, just like what's a great game in your opinion that you should? Where were you? What were you doing?
If we don't hear from this morning from somebody that's a Vanderbilt alum or fan about this last season that they've had over the Vols, then we should just end this show. That in general should have the phone lines live when it comes down to Vanderbilt being able to pour it on the Vols. Like, I got to admit it. That was one of those cut your eyelids off type of game, Rhett. There was nothing the Vols could do about it. So I kind of just want to hear from them because I think we get hey, you guys are UT. Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to go back to the UT part of this because I'm going to tell my age here, but, man, the Sugar Vols in 85,
yes.
against Miami.
Absolutely.
Never, ever forget it. That was unbelievable.
Absolutely. Those dudes still get pats on the back for that. Like, I've seen them in Knoxville.
Charles Davis, man.
Absolutely. They still get pats on the back for that one, man.
I mean, this is Vinny Testaverde and, I mean, God, Jimmy Johnson. Like, it's just what they had stacked against them, and they just thumped them.
Absolutely, Red.
I'll never forget it.
Sugar Vols, man.
All right, lines are loaded. We need to take a break, and we'll come back to you talking about your great moments you've witnessed in sports history. Were you at the game? Did you watch it on cable? Did you watch it streaming? Whatever it was.
Tell us where you saw it and how.
That's right. That's right. Hour 3 continues on Ramon and Will here on 104.5 The Zone. Hour 3 moving along quickly on Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone. I'm Rhett Bryant in for Will Bowling, taking the vows this weekend.
Yeah.
Ramon Foster alongside, as he normally is. Justin Hawkins behind the glass, just like he is. We talked about Game 4 of the NBA Finals, the 29-point comeback from the New York Knickerbockers over the San Antonio Spurs, and it's just spurred thought, and I used that pun correctly there, of what's some of the greatest sports moments you've witnessed. Were you in person? Did you watch it on cable? Did you watch it on streaming? And you lit a fuse when you talked about Vandy, and you better be talking about Vandy. So let's go back to the phone, 615-737-1045. Nashville Jerry wants to talk about Vandy. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jerry.
Hey, Mr. Foster, how you doing?
Man, if I was any better, my name would be Nashville Jerry this morning. So tell me how you are.
Man, I am doing great. I called you last season when I told you we was going to Rocky Top, and I sent you the song over the phone.
I do remember this.
Western will always be home sweet home to me. Yeah. No disrespect.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a Tennessee hat right now, sir.
Yo, Jerry, why do you live this life? Which Tennessee hat? Like the TriStar Tennessee hat? Or you wearing like a Vols hat? Which one?
I'm wearing a Vols hat. It's got an orange T on it. I was born in Tennessee, but Vanderbilt, if I get hurt, what are they going to rush me to Knoxville, or are they going to rush me to West End?
Jerry, that depends. No, see, Jerry, you moving the goalposts a little bit now. No, Jerry, those are two different things right there. Like UT Medical is not in Nashville. Like, we can't send you there, Jerry, unless you got a private jet life.
They saved my life when I was a kid.
Yeah. Okay, so behind the curtains for myself, Vanderbilt also operated on my oldest son, too, in their heart department as well.
Hey, Ramon, we got a little black and gold in it, right?
Listen, there it is.
I got no orange in me. I'm just giving you some of you told me Vanderbilt people need to call in. I need to be the first one.
Because, Jerry, I can admit, I had to cut my eyelids off watching that one. That was one of them games.
That was a beat down.
Yeah, it was. And that's why I'm saying, like, that is a big moment. And here's the thing that I'm always fair on. If it's good, Jerry, I'm going to call it good. And if it's bad, it's bad. Y'all were, y'all, you ain't a part of Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was good last year, Jerry.
Well, they're going to be good this year. Hey, Foster.
Yes.
Look, maybe we'll meet up and we can go to the game because they're going to be in Nashville this year.
No doubt.
And we can sit right there and drink some cold beers. And we can talk face to face.
There, you sound like a good man.
All right, Nashville Jerry. Have a great weekend. Thanks for the call.
Appreciate that,
Hey,
Jerry.
Foster. It's like you're in the military now.
That sounded like my team name. You know, usually on teams they call you by your last name until you get a nickname. Hey, Foster, come here. So, yeah, I appreciate that, Jerry. You seem like a grand old guy.
Man, the phone lines are loaded. We've kind of hit a topic here.
Yeah.
Ron in the Borough, what's the game that you have in mind, sir?
Morning, Ron.
Morning. How y'all doing?
Good,
Great.
man.
Good. Well, the game I actually attended when my MTSU Blue Raiders went to Miami and embarrassed Mr. Cristobal. Biggest surprise that year. And the game I watched on TV was 1994 when Cordell Stewart threw the Hail Mary to Mr. Westbrook in shocked Michigan.
Jeez,
Y'all
yes.
have a good one.
Hey, that's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, I do remember. Wasn't that like a late night game, too, and MTSU got them? 45-31.
Yeah.
September 24th, 2022.
And then the Colorado Buffaloes under Bill McCartney with Cordell Stewart. Like, they had some dudes back then now.
Imagine that, man. Shout out to MTSU for that moment in history.
Blue Raiders.
Golly. Boy, Miami's, they took that personal after that.
Yeah, kind of went in a different direction, didn't they?
Different direction.
In fact, both programs have, as a matter of fact. All right, Ryan in Dixon. Hello, sir. What is your game?
Good morning. How are you gentlemen doing?
We're great.
Solid.
You?
Good morning.
Good on a rainy day. Hey, I just want to throw this out there. I'm 55, so it's been a minute, but I was actually at this game. It was either 89 or 90. It was the Sugar Bowl when Tennessee played Virginia, when Virginia had, like, Herman Moore, and, like, Virginia went up on them, like, double digits, and Andy Kelly threw, like, a late touchdown pass to win. It was, like, 22-23. Man, that was some good stuff.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Good stuff, good memories.
This was before me a little bit. Like, I started watching football probably about like 96 when I was 10 years old, like really paying attention to it. And again, the availability to you is usually a big part of when your sports fandom starts, though, too. And I didn't really start till like maybe 10 years old in 96.
What Ryan touched on, too, reminded me of in that window of time, there was some really special moments. Vols going to South Bend and beating Notre Dame. Yeah. That was a big one.
We played on that field once before. Beautiful place to go to. Yeah. Terrible locker room. Terrible
old stadium, right?
Yes, it is.
What's up, Andy in Clarksville? You're on 104.5 The Zone.
So I've got two. The first one is one that I attended back in 2011. I was a humble cameraman for a station in Richmond, Virginia, and we were following VCU and Shaka Smart on their historic run to the Final Four, getting to watch them beat Kansas, who I particularly hate. Down in the Alamo Dome was just delicious. It was so much fun. After the game, when we're back in the media room, this one guy from Kansas just slams down his notebook and says, "This means that whoever wins the national title doesn't deserve it." And his tears were delicious. But the one I watched like on TV, 93 AFC divisional playoff games, technically part of Titans history. Oilers and Bills, with the Bills come back with Frank Reich.
Andy, you got a good one and one that I'd like to forget. I appreciate you calling. 93 wild card game at what was Rich Stadium in Buffalo.
Wow.
And Oilers were up big at halftime and lost that one.
I got one, if I can interject real quick before you take this next call. I'll never forget Beastquake. Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because you posted the Instagram video of their new bling from being world champs and how about the button that gets the sides of the ring to come out and it looks like Lumen Field?
Yes, insane.
I'm so jealous.
Winning it, you should. And
God, I'm jealous.
Too. Oh my gosh, man! But Beastquake, the cameras were shaking. It registered an earthquake.
I forget what it was on the Richter scale. We can find it.
I'm pulling it up right now. It ended up being it doesn't tell in my write-up right now, but Beastquake ended up being...
I want to say it registered in the low 4s.
Yeah.
He went beast mode, literally.
I'm looking it up right now. I have that.
All right, I'm gonna get Darrington in Nashville. Good morning, Darrington. What's up,
Darrington?
What's happening? What's up, Savvy?
Not much, man.
Listen. Man, I'm a hooper, man. So, I really want to go basketball different when it comes to my king. Because, I want to mention Game 6 against the Celtics when he was a Heat. Then I want to talk about Game 7 against Golden State when he had the block against Iguodala.
Yep.
Or the 25 against Detroit straight, But I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to go out the box. How about it's not a particular game, but the home run competition between Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa.
1998. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
When I'm talking about how it seemed like the world stopped just to witness that, the flash bulbs when Mark McGwire hit 72. I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but I sat and watched every moment that he came up to bat, and they kept walking him and walking him and walking him, and they were just like, you know what, let's just see. And boy, did everybody see. So that moment right there, to this day, still, I've never seen flash bulbs go off like that moment. That was the moment for me.
Darren, we raised in the same era. That got me into baseball lightly, watching that, because it was just power on power. It was the first time in my life I thought baseball was entertaining. That's how I felt about it at the time. It was the only thing I could
they're flirting with records that a lot of people didn't think would be broke.
And then you had
whatever the fallout was.
No doubt.
Like at the time, you'd be lying if you says it wasn't entertaining.
Can we be honest about that era? I think baseball needed the steroid era in that moment.
Yeah.
I hate to say they needed it.
I'm going to give one back to Darrington here, and this is not a specific game, but him talking about being a hooper.
Yeah.
I have vivid memories. And Mom, I hope you're listening. Mom's probably getting ready to go to the grocery store this morning. That's their Friday run, her and Dad.
That's what I'm talking about.
I had a hand-me-down television, old black and white television, on the old TV cart with wheels. And I thought it was cool when we moved into our other house to roll that thing out on the back deck or out on the concrete sidewalk out of the garage. We did it two or three different places and plugged that thing up with rabbit ears, man. We ain't talking about, and we're going old school.
Metal rabbit ear.
And, man, Celtics, Lakers, NBA Finals.
Yeah.
It was magical.
Listen.
And I don't mean that pun because, Magic Johnson was involved, but, Hall of Famers everywhere you look on both rosters.
That's awesome, man.
And just, oh my God, the scores were ridiculous. And what was Larry Bird going to do? And what was Magic going to do? And just all of these guys. And then been playing in Boston on that old parquet floor. And it was really one of the golden ages of the NBA.
That's awesome to hear that too, because those are legends. That's what we're speaking about, like the golden era and what you hope NBA is getting back to.
Yeah,
because they're not as friendly anymore too. And I got that answer to you on the Marshawn Lynch.
Beastquake.
A 1.8 is what it registered.
Okay, that's lower than I thought. I thought it was on up there a good notch.
I thought it was too. It's a tiny earthquake, but still, we're talking about a stadium yelling.
Yeah.
Like, that's not supposed to happen right there, right?
Well, that place gets loud.
Yeah,
I mean, people talk about Arrowhead and some of the other places. That place gets legitimately loud.
And the way he capped it off with the homer before he got out low.
How about some more? How about Vandy Chris from Columbia? What's up, Vandy Chris?
What you got, Chris?
Hey, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I got 2 games, right?
Okay.
So my first game, 1985. Iowa Hawkeyes, ranked number 1 in the country, at Kinnick Stadium, hosting the Michigan Wolverines, who were ranked number 2. Rob Houtland kicking the field goal as time expired for the Hawkeyes to defend that number 1 ranking and beat the Wolverines 10-9. The second game, Vanderbilt beating Boston College at the Music City Bowl in 2008 elicited a physical reaction from me. I cried tears, real tears, just streaming down my face, because it meant something to me as a fan after 26 years of not even going to a bowl game, to win that game against the number 2 team in the ACC. Oh, I bawled like a baby. I'm telling you, it meant something to this Vandy fan. Love talking to you.
Great, Chris. Have a great weekend.
You have a good one.
You could hear the emotion in his voice as he recalls that. And that's why we're getting phone call after phone call. That's what sports does, is evoke emotion.
No doubt about it, man.
Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's really good. And when it's really good, you'll never, ever forget it.
Never forget it, right?
Let's go back to the phones here. Dakota in the borough. Good morning, Dakota.
Good morning, Dakota.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys?
We're good, man. Hope you're having a good Friday morning.
Trying. It's only so I actually just switched jobs. I'm off the weekends now, so it feels really weird being on Fridays and being off the next 2 days.
Oh, man. No doubt.
Good for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
You deserve it, I'm sure.
Well, on the big thing going on with the games. Now, you might remember this one back in December 2017. I'm a Steelers fan. I grew up technically a Cowboy mixed with a Titans fan. My parents are Cowboys fans, so we moved to Tennessee. But when I want to say 15 or 16, I finally decided, hey, I want to pick my own team, so I picked the Steelers. But back in December 17th of 2017, my first ever Pittsburgh game, I go there for my graduation gift from graduating high school, and my dad took me there against the Patriots. It was the Jet to James, not touchdown, not a catch, that whole controversial game. I remember looking over my dad. He was shocked. He let me say every word in the curse word dictionary as to how mad I was. I had drunk guys falling over on me, Patriots fans throwing popcorn in my face. It was a whole thing, but I can never forget that game.
No doubt about it. I didn't either, because that was the difference that year between home field advantage and going on the road to New England. We went up there in New England and also got the fire alarms pulled on us. And then there ended up also being a fire in the kitchen later in the day of game day 2. It just, nobody in that era wanted to go to Foxborough and play. Nobody did.
I agree.
Oh, the hotel with the fire alarm.
Oh, my gosh. And
that happened to the Titans a couple times.
They ended up arresting the guy. Yeah. And, of course, he bailed out and he was at the game, and I think they showed him or something, too. Like,
I'd like to show him.
If there was hate, yeah. I'm glad you feel the same way.
Oh, I definitely feel the same way.
For sure. No doubt.
I appreciate the call, Dakota. That was great.
Dakota. Can you imagine cussing in front of your dad like that?
And that's Dad of the Year for just letting him go through it.
Let him
go.
Let him have it, Rhett.
Like, hit the old purge valve. Get it out of your system, right?
Oh, my gosh.
All right, Daryl in the borough's been waiting for a little bit. Daryl, what's up?
Morning, Daryl.
Hey,
we're good.
I actually thought about a second one, too, so I got 2. First one, I was on the wrong end of it because, Ramon, being from West Tennessee, I just do still have a little bit of heart for Memphis basketball, but I was at the Memphis #1 versus #2 Memphis Tennessee basketball game. You had Chisholm, you had Tyler Lewis, you had D Rose, CDR, so that was a good game.
Yep. No doubt.
And then number 2, I was actually in the end zone whenever James Wilhoit kicked that field goal back in 2004 against Florida.
Yep. So. I was on the sideline as a redshirt freshman when that happened right there, Daryl.
Appreciate you, Daryl.
Think about being so young, Red. I didn't realize what that moment meant in 2004. I was just happy to be running on the field for that kick, man. Golly. I'll add one more, too. I'll go even more recent than anything. 2025, Tennessee Vols versus Florida in the Swamp. To finally get that monkey off your back, to beat them after all of those years, after coming so close to Hail Marys, the embarrassment of it all, Vols fans, I know they might have been a trash team. Coach was about to get fired. That felt good. I don't care what their situation was. Get that monkey off your back in the Swamp was huge.
That's why rivalries still exist in sports.
Yeah.
And listen, in college, it's changing a lot because of all the things changing above it. But, yeah, that's why. Let's go back. Let's take one more phone call real quick. Let's go to Chip in Smyrna. What was your game you remember?
Morning, Chip.
Good morning. Well, I thought it was kind of funny y'all talking about Vanderbilt, Tennessee last year, because as a Tennessee fan, that game pales in comparison to the loss to them in 2005. I think you might remember that one, Ramon.
Cutler. Jay Cutler. I mean,
22 game streak lost. Ugh.
The way he just threw the ball and it floated in the air, and all you could do was just watch them complete. Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, terrible. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you calling.
Appreciate it.
Let's do one more right here. Eric in Nashville. Hello, sir.
What's up, Eric? Good morning.
Yeah, it is always a pleasure to talk to you guys. And I tell you what, Brett, every time I hear you, I think of Coach Mack. And I heard that when he was in the hospital, I got mentioned by him. And I think you know the details behind it because I was recently contacted by somebody close to him. I'm not going to get to the details of it over the years. So if you want to tell Ramon off there, you can. But here's my thing for me. My favorite player, of course, not necessarily the game, but it's Dr. J, Julius Erving. Because I know everybody talks about the Celtics and Lakers, and they did play in the finals, but they only played twice. If you remember, Philadelphia played the Lakers in the finals 3 times. And Julius Erving had some great moves and games against them. I remember, I guess it was the first finals in 1980 where he had that under-the-basket layup against the Lakers. I also remember regular season game during the championship game where they won. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was out with a migraine headache. They won in overtime, 122-120. And Julius Erving did that dunk where he did that windmill dunk, which got the crowd excited. But also, of course, remember the finals and just sweeping the Lakers. And that team is so underrated because everybody talk about greatest teams of all time. But if you remember, Moses was talking about 4-4-4. They were 12-1 in the finals. And that team, they had some players on the team with characters like Earl Bator Curitan. They had, I guess, Reggie Johnson from the University of Tennessee, Clemon Johnson, Clint Richardson, of course, Moses, Andrew Toney, Bobby Jones, Mark Ivorone, as well as Julius. And I just remember that championship sick team. And as a Philadelphia 76ers fan, just getting where Dr. J got that championship just made me so happy. I was so happy for him. They finally got that ring. Guys, y'all take care, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, Eric, take care of yourself. Good to hear from you. Moses Malone. People forget he's one of the first to do the high school to the NBA deal.
Crazy, right? That shows you what the talent was in that era.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got a good one that hadn't been mentioned yet.
Go.
06 Rose Bowl. Texas, USC. 4th and 5, Vince Young. Knocking off USC.
Yep.
What an era. And that led to Vince also.
VY being the number 3 overall pick.
Absolutely.
I was there when he was selected in New York City. I was going through some pictures and cleaning some stuff out the other day, and I found a picture I'd taken from where we were sitting in the lower bowl auditorium seats doing stuff for Titans Radio, and it was a picture of all the top 06 draft picks that were there in attendance. So
Crazy.
VY was up there, Mario Williams, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, Vernon Davis. Yeah.
I just remember watching those games and realizing we're nowhere near that just yet. You know what I'm saying? Like in college at UT, like those dudes looked like pros, and they were pros out there. Like it was just a different level that USC and Texas was playing on at the time.
Yeah, VY put on a show.
Yes, he did.
All right, let's take a break and wrap up hour 3 with Ramon and Will here on 104.5 The Zone. Wrapping up hour 3, Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone. I'm Rhett Bryan. Will Bowling on assignment. This one, an important one, getting married this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Ramon Foster right there across from me. Justin Hawkins behind the glass at network control, making it all happen. That Drake song right there, you realize that's a sample.
Yeah. Oh, from...
There's a early group in the early 70s, Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds. That's Fallen in Love, or as they would say, Fallen in Love.
Get out of here. I didn't
Baby,
realize
baby,
that.
falling in love. I'm falling in love
and
again.
he will sample some old school stuff.
Well, I mean, a lot of people do.
Yeah,
a lot of folks do.
No doubt.
So we've been talking all hour about why, Game 4 of the NBA Finals and the comeback that the Knicks made over the Spurs to take the lead or to build the lead and add to the lead. What has that meant to you as a sports fan? What's some great games you either saw on TV, you were there in person, whatever it was, regardless of sport. And we've had a lot of participation this morning. Let's go back to the phones. 615-737-1045. Dr. C wants to talk about a game. Good morning, Doctor.
Morning, Doc.
Good morning, Red, and my homeboy, the Big Ragu. I'm a diehard Cardinals fan. The Titans are here, and I pull for the Titans, but St. Louis Cardinals are the best for sports and best franchise in professional sports. I'm sorry. Yeah. My memory is 1985, the greatest shortstop to ever step on the field, number one, Arthur Smith. They're playing the Dodgers in a playoff game, and Ozzy was not a long ball hitter. That might have been the first or second home run he ever hit. But he pops the ball down the left field line, right down the line, goes out the park. I think that might have been a deciding game. And Jack Buck, the late, great Jack Buck, go crazy, folks, go crazy. Go crazy, folks. He yelled that probably 10 times because that was such a shock to see Ozzy pop one and it beat the Dodgers. That's my greatest moment in sports.
Doc, that's great. That's a really good one.
He narrated that perfectly, too. I felt like I was in that game. Well, I was at that game hearing Doc C speak about it.
Ozzy was fantastic,
cool.
man. Started that game with that backflip.
Yeah.
When he came out there to take his position.
I got a throwback jersey of his at the house.
Yeah,
we
man.
got one now.
Legitimate.
Frost in a chat says, Rhett, 399 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 22 of 30 completion. December 22nd, 2003. That was a Brett Favre game played after the passing of his dad. And just mark that one off right there.
And I think that was on Monday Night Football, too.
Wowzers.
I'm pretty sure that was on – and I think that might have been against Oakland.
It may have been, man, but that's good stuff right there.
Yeah, he lit it up. He's right. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Let's go back to the phones. Gil, out in California. What's up?
What up, Gil?
Hey, what's going on with y'all?
Not much, man. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, man. I give my favorite game because I had just tuned in and heard what y'all said. So me being out here in L.A., as a youngster, that Kirk Gibson home run in the World Series was the whole thing, man.
Yes. No doubt. Absolutely, man. I hear your Cali coming out in you to a youngster. I hear it, man. The Cali slang is always there, man. Appreciate your submission this morning, Gil.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say is I wanted to talk about Cam Ward because I'm Titans all the way. I love the Lakers and everything. But I gotta ride it out with my Titans, but what I wanted to say is about Cam Ward. If you look what Malik Neighbors said about that offense with Brian Dable, he said it was a hard offense to learn. So I understand his struggles and everything right now, and I like that because I think he's going to get a lot better. But what I wanted to get into is Tate. Malik Neighbors said he don't think he's the number one receiver just because he's not like a Jeremiah Smith or like Malik Neighbors. He wins different with his routes. He more reminds me of an A.J. Green that was a number 4 pick that wins with routes and catches everything that you throw his way. So he could be a number 1 receiver. I just think he'll win in a different way.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up.
Appreciate that, Gil. That's good stuff.
I mentioned something to Rhett when we were on break. I said the thing that's super funny about this process, like if Cam crashes and burn, we just going to have to watch it regardless, right? It's the same with anybody in their careers. We watched Johnny Manziel do it. We saw Sam Darnold do it and come back up. He got new flights. Yep. He got a new set of wings and a ring at this point. Before we take another call, I feel like if I'd have taken the 2006, 2007 version of myself, I wasn't an NFL player. The more opportunity I gave myself and showed that spark, showed that spunk, showed the ability to stay healthy and be available, and that I had a lot of grit about me, I personally think I was a better pro player than I ever was college player. You got to get time on the job, too. Coach Mack says it often. We bring him up often, too. Time on task matters. The ability to get better year after year, step after step, grow mentally, physically, handle your emotions a whole lot better is a part of this process, too. And we always seem to want the microwave meal. But we hate the microwave meal, don't we? Usually, we'll warm up our leftovers.
Things get soggy in there.
Yeah, but we want the cooked meal, and cooking that roast or that brisket or smoking those ribs might take a few hours.
Yep.
That brisket might take a day and a half.
Delayed gratification.
Yeah, or half a day. And that's just where we've kind of lost sight on.
But learning how to be a pro is a part of that. And that's what you've described there.
Yeah.
And Cam's got all those things within him.
Yeah.
I mean, they talk about it all the time. They can't run him out of the building.
They cannot run
So,
him out.
I mean, he's doing the part. We just got to build. He's just building.
That's all right.
He's trying to stack a day.
Yeah.
Back to the phones. We're going to Dougie in Nashville. Is this Dougie Fresh?
Dougie Fresh. Good morning.
Good morning,
How's it going?
Doug. We're good, man. Glad to have you with us.
How y'all doing?
Great.
Hey, for me, it's I'm surprised nobody's brought it up. The biggest comeback win ever in a national championship game, 2013, Florida State and Auburn.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yes, absolutely. James Winston?
Yes, sir. In Pasadena, the atmosphere was crazy, and it's the biggest comeback win in national championship history.
I agree with that one. That one was insane to see.
Good call, Dougie.
I thought James was going to take the league by storm after that. And he had some good moments in the NFL, too. And that, honestly, that championship game was his style of ball moving forward.
Yep.
James might get you 21 touchdowns. Also might get you 21 interceptions.
He had the 30 for 30 season.
I would argue he did take the league by storm, just not the ways that you thought.
Okay, Jayhawk.
He's out here eating dubs like it's nothing. Like
That's
it's crab
right.
legs.
That's right. That's right. One more from Brian in Louisiana. Good morning. What's your game?
Man, I got two. There's one that was in person, one that's not. The one that was not, I was in college listening to 104.5 when Vince Young hit a rookie, Kenny Britt, in the back of the end zone to beat the Cardinals. I had to pull over because I was freaking out, just so excited because it was so exciting. And then in person, being here in Louisiana, big Vols fan, go down to Death Valley a few years ago when Tennessee put a thumping on LSU. Because, man, everybody here was telling me how terrible it was and how awful it did, and the atmosphere is going to be terrible. And we down there, recover that opening fumble, and just lay it on them. And then all the tears around here was, well, it's because it wasn't a night game and all this other stuff. And, man, it was just
Tell him, Brian.
Hey, Brian, that's a good call. I appreciate that. Hey, and he must have read our minds because in the 9 o'clock hour, the fourth and final hour of Ramon and Will, we're going to talk about Titans-centric games that you remember.
No doubt.
The great ones. And the 18-play, 99-yard drive when VY hit Kenny Britt in the back of the end zone to beat Ken Wisenhunt, and the Arizona Cardinals with 000s on the clock was a very cool deal because they started out 0-for. And so they were trying to crawl out of the hole.
Yeah.
And that was a big-time deal. Big-time deal. Anthony in Nashville, hang on. We'll get to your game when we come back in Hour 4, and we'll talk about some of the greatest games in Titans history. That kind of evoked that thought from us after we saw what happened in Game 4 of the NBA Finals the other night. All of that ahead, and your phone calls, too, on Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone.
9:01. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Carolina Hurricanes are now one win away from a Stanley Cup title after a 4-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights Thursday night in Game 5. They lead the series 3-2. Andrei Svechnikov scored 2 goals, and goaltender Brandon Bussi made 23 of 25 saves in the win. The Hurricanes have not won the Stanley Cup since 2006, and they'll have a chance to hoist the cup Sunday night in Game 6 in Las Vegas. NFL news yesterday, the Panthers and wide receiver Jalen Coker agreed to terms on a 3-year contract extension that's worth $35 million and incentives that could be worth up to $41 million. Also, the Denver Broncos, they agreed to a 5-year contract extension with head coach Sean Payton. Payton's been in Denver since 2023 and boasts a 32-19 record with the Denver Broncos, including an AFC Championship appearance last season. And the 2026 FIFA World Cup officially kicked off yesterday. Mexico got the 2-0 win over South Africa in their Group A matchup. Coming up today, though, the U.S. men's national team, they kick off their Group D play as they face Paraguay in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. Kickoff is set for 8 p.m. on Fox. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans involves this is 104.5 The Zone.
It's the fourth and final hour. 4 fingers up, fourth quarter. Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone on a Friday, getting ready to roll into the weekend. Rhett Bryant filling in for Will Bolden, getting married tomorrow evening.
I know.
Big Ramon, big Ragu right here beside me.
Ready and rolling.
Justin Hawkins back there making everything happen. Hour 4 of the program today, we've discussed throughout this just the amazing game that Game 4 of the NBA Finals was on Wednesday night, with the largest comeback in NBA history, happened to be in one of the greatest series that means whether you get the championship trophy or not. And it evoked some thoughts about what are some of the great games that you saw in sports. We're going to narrow that down and focus in Titans history now. This is going to be fun to go down a little bit of memory lane. We had a caller last hour talk about the 99-yard drive, the 18-play 99-yard drive. Vince Young hits Kenny Britt in the back of the end zone, north end zone, as a matter of fact. 000 on the clock, and they beat the Arizona Cardinals. And that was a wild one. So we're going to talk about some of the great games in Titans history, and there's been over 550 of those in history, counting preseason, regular season, postseason. Some not so good, some bad, some really good. But I'm going to, if Jayhawk, if you're ready, I'm going to go down memory lane with one that I really like. This was a defining moment in what this young man is now heading towards a Hall of Fame career. And this is 2018, and this is late in the season. This is late November, early December in Nashville, Nissan Stadium against the Jacksonville Jaguars. King Henry goes to the hizzy.
Mariota gives it to Henry. Henry bounces it outside. 5, 10, 15, stiff arm, 20, 25, 30, 40, stiff arm, 50, 40, 30. He's on his feet. Big chase, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Titans, 99 yards! The longest run in franchise history. And the Titans are up by 11. What a run, Derrick Henry.
What a run it was.
Wow.
And here's the thing. Prior to that, like he wasn't starting.
Derrick.
Like there was, I think about a few weeks earlier, we were in London and Titans were playing the Chargers at Wembley. David Fluellen got a lot of carries in that game.
David Fluellen.
But that was one of the indicators, like, okay, you were a man amongst boys in high school. You were a man amongst boys in college. And there it was. 4 stiff arms later and 99 yards later.
He spun that man around.
Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable.
Who was the linebacker that was? Again, I forget who it was. I see the face. I see the body type. I see all of that, man.
I have to go back and look.
What an embarrassing moment that was, right? And here's the other part, though, too, if you don't mind me jumping in.
No, go.
The fact that Derrick Henry, as you said before that clip played, is on his way to a gold jacket at some capacity, right?
Yeah. Was
second fiddle. Imagine that being a part of his story, man. Like, he played second fiddle.
Last year, he passed Jim Brown on the all-time rushing chart. Think about that now.
It's hard to think of with what we see the products be since when. Like, it really switched and turned on, 18, 19 is when the switch flipped up. Like, golly. And that was 3 years in at that point in time? Or 2 years?
2 years in.
2 years in at that point in time. God.
All right, I'm going to take you back to one that actually chronologically was before that play. This is the 2017 playoffs at Kansas City in an unimaginable play with Marcus Mariota.
Mariota takes the snap, looks to his right, looking, flushed out. Now back to his left, pumping, throwing into the end zone. No, he kept it. Dove for the end zone himself and got in. Oh, my goodness. I thought for sure Mariota had thrown it. What a play. Let's see exactly how it went. It was batted back to him. He did throw it. He caught it for a touchdown. Touchdown Titans. What a play, Marcus Mariota, who just threw and caught a touchdown pass.
No, I mean, what else can you say about this? I mean, what an athletic play. What an aware play by this guy. That was tremendous.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
He's an eligible receiver. Revis back.
Is that you in the background yelling too in the early parts of it?
It might have been because the windows don't open in Kansas City. It might have been, but I think a lot of it was just the gnat sound from the parabolic mic operators and just people going crazy.
Yeah.
Now this is a place where they're climbing back into this thing. They trailed by 18 at halftime.
Yeah, I know. I think I ended up looking it up. Titans were down 21-3.
Yeah.
At one point in time.
Yeah. Because Alex Smith threw a touchdown with 3 seconds to go in the first half, so for them to go up 21-3. And I'll reference this a lot. Jonathan Cyprian, the safety that we gotten in free agency, knocked the block off of Travis Kelce that effectively kind of took him out of that game. Like he was not it was just wasn't the same. And I think that was a pivotal moment right there. All right, let's go to, you talk about an unlikely play. Let's go to this one that's an unlikely hero. This is week 17 in 2020, the COVID year, in Houston. In fact, this was the last ball game that Deshaun Watson would play for the Houston Texans at quarterback. And this one was massive.
Right hash, 37 yards to win it. Snap, set. Sloman's kick is up. His kick hits the upright and goes through. Yes! Yes! Good! Yes! Great job, Sloman! Big shot for Sloman! And the 2020 AFC South champions reside in the 6-1-5.
And they did.
Classic.
First playoff appearance in 12 years, I think, at that point, to win the AFC South Division. And let me tell you, this is how loud Mac was. And Mac, you never knew this, but you're going to know it now. So Brad Willis and Philip Noel are doing an excellent job coordinating and mixing sound, and they actually cut his mic off. And that's how loud he still was.
He was.
Great job, Sloman. Will echo forever. But this was a year where they'd gone through kicker after kicker after kicker. Sam Sloman was a late 7th-round pick of the Rams and had been cut. Sam Sloman he's from University of Miami, Ohio, Red Hawk.
Yep, Red Hawk.
And dude has a doink that goes in to win. Now, the other thing that happened in that is, Derrick Henry rushes for 2,000 yards. He gets what he needs there. It's over 2 bills he gets in that game, and just an amazing moment and an amazing point in a crazy weird year that COVID was.
What a year it was, right?
Great job, Sloman!
Great job, Sloman. That's right.
Looking at this too, he had 1 for 1 field goal attempts and made from 40 to 49 yards. That'll do it.
He was a household name there for a minute.
That'll do it.
All right, let's move forward to some of my favorite times. And this one is the 2019 playoffs at New England. And this first one is going to set up this play. And it is a brilliant special teams play. And Brett Kern, if you're out there listening, had a fantastic 58-yard punt down deep inside their own territory. And so Tom Brady and the boys are backed up.
Mm-hmm.
And then this happens.
Brady in the end zone. Takes the snap. Looks. Fires. Pass batted up in the air. Intercepted. And returned for a touchdown. Titans. Logan Ryan. With 9 seconds to go.
And then 9 seconds later, this was music to my ears.
The Titans have eliminated Tom Brady.
And the world champions.
And the world champions here tonight. The Tennessee Titans have come into Foxborough and beaten the New England Patriots. Final score, Tennessee 20, New England 13, as the Titans get it done again.
Wow.
The night they ended the dynasty.
You know what? That was 19?
Yeah. January of 2020, the 2019 playoffs.
I was here at home trying to figure out what it was going to be like. I was so appreciative of that moment because I just felt like you cut the head off the snake going into that one. I'm not calling them snakes or nothing like that.
But, it's funny you say that, though, because Coach Vrabel called it going into the Viper's pit.
Yeah. No, legitimately. Like, you look at that moment, that win right there, and there have been some issues I think we felt like the Bill Brady conversation was always at top of mind. Like, is it Bill? Is it Brady? Which one is it?
Yeah.
And to have that be the moment done by a former Patriot in their spot, as quiet as it was as Mike was talking right there, it just felt cinematic. You know what I'm saying? Like everything about that. And you felt like for all the air quotation marks cheating that they had done, it was good that somebody could get their lick back.
Well, and you talk about getting the monkey off your back earlier.
My gosh.
I mean, Titans had a lot of success going to Foxborough.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, week 4 of 2002, this is, early into the stint of the Tom Brady era, and they just, couldn't get it done then, and just playoff game up there. It's one of my favorite moments, period.
No doubt. I got another good one for you if you want to that correlates to it when I started covering the Titans a year after I started. But the 2021 Titans Bills, Josh Allen 4th and 1 and he slips trying to go into the end zone at that point in time. That was electric as well. Like that was the moment. Like, yeah, that's good fortune.
Justin,
he didn't slip. That was a stuff.
I mean, well, yeah, it was a stuff.
Depends on who you ask. The Bills.
Well, Jeffrey Simmons
either way,
coming
it
in
happened.
There.
Yes, absolutely.
Going back to the 2017 or the 2019 game, we were at Yazoo Brewery here in Nashville.
Yeah,
and they had the big screen outside, and we all stepped outside to watch kind of like the last bit of the fourth quarter. And when Logan Ryan made that pick, we all knew, of course, at that time Titans are going to win the game, and you got your monkey off the back, whatever. I can't tell you how many people threw their beer in their little plastic cups or whatever up in the air, and we all just hugged. Like, that's one of those moments you'll never forget because it was, wow, we just did that.
That's what sports does.
It was just, and then you get the superstitions or whatever, and then we went back for the Baltimore Ravens game.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And we're going to talk about that in our next segment. And is your brother joining us next segment?
Yeah, he is. He said his battery was dead this morning, but he might be just a smidge late coming in.
All right, well, that's okay.
But he's on the way.
Big Slay is on the way.
I'm looking at that play again. You're right. Jeff absolutely bodied Deion Dawkins on this play. The left tackle for the Buffalo Bills.
A very good left tackle for the yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
This is lazy technique, right? The offensive line part of me is just like, that's so God, that's lazy. And
you
Jeff
hate it
took
when the
advantage
defense
of
wins.
Yeah, but for the Titans' sake, that was good for us. It was great radio
Oh, God,
and everything
it was
else
big time.
involved in it.
Absolutely.
God, this is lazy technique right here by a tackle that's considered one of the best in the league. And great play by Jeff. He took advantage of somebody being lazy in that moment on the 4th and inches play.
Just overpowered him.
Oh, he overpowered him. He put him on his back, like literally put him on his back. Yeah.
And it took like not even half a second.
God.
All right, more great Titans moments and big Ronald Sylvester Slay joining us next on the 4th and final hour of Ramon and Will here on 104.5 The Zone. Rolling through hour 4, Ramon and Will, 1045 The Zone. Rhett Bryan in for Will Bowling. Ramon Foster alongside. Justin Hawkins back behind the glass in Control Center on a rainy Friday.
Yes, it is.
Another shower making its way through downtown.
It's coming on down, man.
So we've been talking about the greatest games that made us think about those things with what happened in the NBA Finals the other night, Game 4, and the biggest game comeback, 29 points for the New York Knicks, which, by the way, and we're going to get your brother's opinion of this, the Hooper himself.
Right.
I don't think there's any way they come back from that at all. I think it's the Knicks to lose. That's
most definitely
when we
is.
talked about this the other day, you said team of destiny. I said, I think that's what this is.
It is. It's going to be interesting, though, too, because, again, they still have 2 trips to San Antonio if they can get 2 in a row. Now,
that's right.
Winning 3 is tough. I think in almost an any sport. You tell me, in order for me to win, I got to go 3 straight. Now, this is where that grit, that grind, not to take Memphis slogan, but the grit and grind of being a competitor has got to take place. Now, here's what also happened. New York has shown their entire behind. The Knicks have. The fans, the celebration on the court was huge. The all-star spectacle that they've had of celebrities. The one part that I think is going to stick with Victor Wembanyama more than anything moving forward in his career is what happened off the court. They're going back to their hotel, and, of course, New York fans know where they're staying at probably. You know, that type of information get out all the time, even for NFL teams. We see NFL fans outside the Titans hotels and stuff like that, correct? What was messed up about it is they were throwing items at the San Antonio Spurs players. It looked like a bottle went around Wembanyama's head, and then an egg hit him. He got hit in the head with an egg. And I'm just like, I love hating sports, but when the game's over, remove your emotions as a fan. Don't be throwing batteries. Don't be throwing eggs. Don't be throwing bottles. I don't know if they've awakened a beast because Wembanyama is already a beast. But this type of stuff from the idiots that attend these type of events will wake a crowd up. Now, here's the thing. What if the Spurs fans start throwing, you know what I'm saying, like oranges at the New York Knicks players coming in and out of stuff? You don't want that to be the case, but in certain situations, it's sometimes best to let a sleeping dog lie, is the old saying that people use. I'd expect the Spurs to win the next one. I
think you're right, but I think they get one more, but I think that's
it's hard to win 3 straight, most definitely. But that in general, to me, now I'm looking at the outside perspective of it, you know, from the emotional side of it. Now the player side of it is they made so many mistakes that they need to be watching film over and over and over again. De'Aaron Fox turnovers, the mismanagement of either shooting the layup or bringing the ball out from De'Aaron Fox too. How flagrant they were in the second half as far as shooting threes. Mitchell, what's his name? The Spurs head coach. Like I'm looking at Mitch Johnson. Like Mitch, why didn't you call a timeout when you saw the threes not going down and readjust your game plan? Like there are so many lessons that were learned from this that either next year for the Spurs moving forward, or either if they can adjust and get 3 straight, it will be because of that Game 4 situation right there.
And listen, for Spurs fans and certainly those guys on that team and that organization, they'll find no solace in this right now. But Wembanyama is 22 years old. They're gonna be all right. Yeah. Like this kid's ridiculous.
The same way we thought the league was Patrick Mahomes, or when Brady, took over as well. Like we see that. Like it's certain players in all sports that you realize. I knew from day one. I knew Myles Garrett was going to be a problem.
Ooh-wee.
I knew he was going to be a problem.
Some guys are just made different.
You saw Jeffrey Simmons become a problem.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that 2020 COVID game where the Steelers came down here to play the Titans, and, like, Jeff was just now getting his bearings underneath him. Mm-hmm. And all I remember is those guys calling me, my former teammates, man, 98, or Jeff. Like, that's all you heard. So to see him become an all-pro is not by mistake. You knew that at some point in time that this was going to click, and when it does, that's when everybody else has to pay. And that's the same way I view this Victor Wembanyama situation is at some point the league's going to have to pay.
Yes.
Everybody takes their licks.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this a couple of days ago. LeBron James in 2007 was swept in the NBA Finals when he was with the Cavs by the Spurs.
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah.
He was okay. I think he had a pretty good career.
Yeah,
Still
worked
is
out okay,
having,
right?
Yeah, right?
It worked out.
sometimes you got to take your licks. Sometimes as a head coach, you got to take your licks, and you learn from it. You grow from it. You figure out what kind of tape, like you mentioned, and then next year you kind of reassess, maybe get a little bit more assets, a little bit better teammates, people who can take care of the ball instead of just go up for a layup.
Instead of
not
just
supposed to with 10 seconds left.
I heard Savage bring that up. No, seriously.
I mean, situational awareness was not with De'Aaron Fox on that one.
Brett, think about the last 2 minutes of a football game. 10 seconds in NBA when they got timeouts might last you 15 minutes.
And every situation counts.
Yes, it does.
That's why the really good coaches are watching all of that going, okay, if this happens, this is our play.
Yep.
If that happens, this different play will be our play.
No doubt about it. And Mitch Johnson has to find himself in a better mindset. It can't be a fight or flight situation. It just needs to be a situation in which you say, this is a new game. I've learned from these scenarios right here too, because every coach has their blips. Every player has a moment like that as well, where you say, God, what was I thinking? Everybody has those moments right there. It just sucks that it's in the NBA Finals for the Spurs.
Well, and somebody like De'Aaron Fox, who's this ain't his first rodeo.
But like this it is. To your
point. I'm saying he's a vet.
He's a vet. But he doesn't have the experience of playing in finals where clock management means a ton to making it out of it. Because I think everybody and their mama will be salivating over a 2-2 split right now between the two.
Yes.
But I'm with you. It's New York's to lose. You got 3 games to get 1. And the Spurs getting 3 straight would be – that's the other side we hadn't spoken about. What if the Knicks fold?
Speaking of comebacks, I don't think that's a thing. But anything's possible.
But it's sports.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible, man.
So we talked about that evoked and brought out so many memories and thoughts of awesome games in sports, and y'all chimed in through the F&M Bank chat and certainly on the phones about your great sports moments. And we've taken this hour for Titans moments. And Jayhawk hit it right. He was talking about the night that they ended the dynasty in New England in the 2019 wild card round of the playoffs. And he alluded to the fact that there was a game the next week where you could exercise some more demons. And so we go to that now in the divisional round in Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. And you kind of thought the game was going to be – because this is number 1 seed that you're going to see. The reigning MVP this is Lamar Jackson's the MVP of the league.
Sure was.
This is, not exactly David Goliath, but it's a tall task. But if I remember correctly, it's his second or third play of the game. It was early. This play happens.
Titans 36-yard line, 8:10 to go first quarter. Second down and 10. Boyle, the tight end, motions to the left. In the shotgun, Jackson looks. Jackson fires down the middle. Ball tipped and intercepted. Byard, 20, 30. Byard, 35. Byard, 40. Turns the corner, 45. Byard is run out of bounds near the 50-yard line. Penalty marker is thrown late by the referee into the bench area. Let's see what this is all about. The ball went off the hands of Andrews and was intercepted by Byard.
Now we can dump it. So what happens there is KB picks off Lamar Jackson, and you heard him return it back into Baltimore territory. Well, here's the deal. Lamar Jackson is mad at himself more than anything. And so he gives it to KB. And so there's the 15 yards. And now the Titans are sitting in good shape here. And this is early now.
That's taunting is what it was.
And so a few plays later, this happens.
Third and goal at the 12. Bunch set of 3 receivers tight to the left. Tannehill takes the snap. Pressure comes late. Tannehill throws the fade, left side, ball up and caught. Is it inbounds? Yes! Touchdown, Titans! Jonnu Smith tips it to himself. What a play!
What an outstanding play. First of all, what trust of Tannehill in his receivers. What trust, and then what a play.
What a play it was. Now, let's fast forward to the end of this ball game with the final call.
One more time, Ryan Tannehill in the victory formation. He takes a knee in his 100th start. Ryan Tannehill has led the Titans to a victory that is leading them for the first time in 17 years to the American Football Conference Championship game. The Tennessee Titans have shocked the world, coming into Baltimore and upsetting the number 1 seed in the AFC decisively. Final score, Tennessee 28, Baltimore 12. And for the second time in playoff history at M&T Bank Stadium, the Titans get it done again.
Oh, did they ever. And by the way, through this run, like Derrick Henry's doing some crazy Derrick Henry stuff.
Yeah,
like I think he had a $176 in that ball game. Just bananas. Hello, Ron Slay.
Uh-oh. Where's
Always gotta do it.
He ain't acting like it's Friday.
Nah, man. What's going on, Gordon? How goes it? Thank you. Appreciate that, Jayhawk.
Nice recovery by him, right?
Yeah.
That's where it is this morning.
Yeah. Sports and music, man. Soothe the soul, baby.
It does. It does. So we've been rolling down memory lane this morning. We talked about that game 4 of the NBA Finals. Incredible.
Yeah.
And we're going to get your thoughts on that stuff here in a minute. So we went through sports, and everybody in the world chimed in, and now we're doing Titans stuff. Mm-hmm. What's a Titans memory for you? A game that stands out for you?
Gosh. Golly.
All right.
You know Music City Miracle.
Well, let's do that. Here's January 8th, 2000. In the wild card round, Nissan Stadium, hosting the Buffalo Bills, trailing at this point, 16 seconds remain.
So 16 seconds to play. Bills 16, Titans 15. Kevin Dyson is deep with Ike Bird. Do the Titans have a miracle left in them in what has been a magical season to this point? If they do, they need it now. Christie kicks it high and short. Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson.
He's got something.
30,
He's
40,
got something.
50,
He's got it.
40,
He's got it.
20, 10.
He's got it.
End zone. Touchdown Titans. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle. Tennessee has pulled a miracle. A miracle for the Titans.
That's cold.
No, that's
cold.
That's beyond cold. That's beyond cold. I'm gonna tell you why.
He's 26 years old and still gets the hairs on your neck to stand up.
Absolutely. That was 2000. That was my freshman year at UT, and the reason like that game right there was that holds a special part because we were on the road. We were getting ready to play LSU.
Were you?
Yeah. I told Coach Green, Lou, we're not going out this locker room until this game is over. Like we sitting in the locker room waiting. We about to get ready to go out and do our thing. And I'm like, no, we're not going. I'm cool. Y'all going out there. I'm not going. It's too exciting. You know what I mean? Like something you can feel it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And dude, when it happened, hey man, that was amazing. That was amazing. We went out there. I'm talking about. It's so weird. Like you start relating everything that you got going on in life to what just happened to your team. You know what I'm saying?
So
like we were out there at LSU. They had a mob. Stromile Swift, Jabari Smith.
Stromile Swift.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man, Jabari
Forgot
Smith.
about that.
Man, they were a mob. Torres Bright, Ronald Dupree. The list goes on and on. They were super talented, and that's all we kept on saying, y'all. Hey man. We were down in that game, and LSU Pete Maravich Center was rocking. Yeah. I mean, it's echoing. You know how old that arena is. It's echoing out the walls, and I remember us being in the huddle like, hey, dog, we know we can come back and get this. We just saw it. You know what I'm saying? And we came back and got that win, dog, and we weren't supposed to. We were not on the road, not in the SEC at that time.
And in conference play.
Oh, in conference play, dog. It was different, man. So, I remember it vividly. Coach Ferguson. Coach Ferguson can tell a story about it. Like, we wasn't going out to get like, come on, y'all, we got to get out here and get warmed up. And nope. Y'all can go.
Y'all can go get warmed
I'll
up.
join you when this is at its conclusion.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So I remember that, man. I'll never forget that. Being in Baton Rouge.
Being in Baton Rouge, I
I
had a memorable one, too, after Katrina. 05, going down there during the hurricane, and they rescheduled the game, if I'm not mistaken. Then we end up playing the game. We go down there, man, and I'm playing as a redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
I'm outside of my mind, okay?
Yeah.
Rob Lewis was the guard that went in, and I had to go in and sub for him, and that was my redshirt freshman year, so I developed some, understood it, but at left guard,
Yeah.
where I ended my career at, man, and I'll never forget, Gerald Riggs Jr. behind me. We're at the goal line. And they call a play, it's an outside trap play, and I'm pulling. If you look back at the tape, my gosh, you would have known. He pulled it. If they were smart and it wasn't that tense, they would have saw me because I'm leaning
all the way
I'm
back.
sitting back so far.
Yeah.
But that's the difference between college and the NFL, though, too. It's like you see those tell. I step, I kick out, I just get in the way. And Gerald Riggs was right behind me and go in for the touchdown. He slammed the ball. There's a picture of me throwing my arms up in the air, and we were bananas. God, that was bananas. That got me addicted to college football at that point in time. Like, I was playing it, but the addiction took off at that point in time.
No question.
Oh, my gosh.
I had another one. So, of course, the Tennessee-Florida game, that was me on my unofficial visit with Oak Hill Academy. Coach Smith brought us down. I don't know how we got down to that game, but we were down there probably about 5 rows up. And when everybody stormed the field and everything, I tried to jump on the field. Coach Smith wouldn't let me grab him by my shirt. Hey, boy, get on back here. You're not going down. I'll never find you. So I remember that set the tone. Shout out to Will from the Ville, man. Texas at Ohio State.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the shoe, in the little, so you know you got the round part, but Texas coming at us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we sitting in the little part of the show, and we sitting there tapping each other like, hey, dog, we ain't no dog in the fight. Just went to go see a good game.
Just watching.
Dude, we like, hey, watch what this dude finna do. You could see it. Him, Vince, in control of this game, dog. They went down there and scored and had the shoe quiet. That was an amazing game. We went to Game 5 of the NBA Finals, Miami versus Dallas, 06, when D. Wade and them won that championship. They won it in Game 6 at Dallas. But Game 5 was the one, man, Antoine Walker went off. You know what I mean? Gary Payton hit a big old shot in that game. We was sitting in the lower bowl, dog, watching that game.
Yeah.
We was like, hey, man, we done caught some classics. And the atmosphere was insane. You know, Shaq had just got there a year before.
Yeah.
Like Pat Riley had came from the
front office
to coach that team in the middle of the year. Like, you could see it, and Dirk was on a tear. And they put Udonis Haslem on there and changed the series. And, man, that was big time, too. So, I've been able to catch some cool ones, man.
And
cool.
Just hearing you speak about that, seeing stuff in person, like we've seen some incredible stuff through the magic of television, streaming, whatever.
Yeah.
But, man, when you're in it,
it's
wow.
Game.
Time freezes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Time freezes. It actually freezes. I think we went to USC Notre Dame, too. I think 01 or 02. Will text me in a minute because he hate when I get this wrong. But it was either 01 or 02. We went to South Bend and watched that game. That was a hell of a game. Like, it was. When it caught some
South Bend too.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
when it caught South Bend and it was one of them times that it kind of you freeze time. Ain't nothing going on around you. It's just the moment in the game. Pretty dope, man. It's a different experience being at the game than watching it on TV because, like, you know that moment. Like, you ride back on an adrenaline high. We drove up.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it was, you ride back on adrenaline high talking about the game. Like, and that's when ESPN would immediately have those ESPN classes.
We talked about that earlier.
Dog. I missed that. They need to start back doing that. Yeah. Them classes, you couldn't wait till the summer or another time when you be like, man, I was at that game, man, I remember that. Like, we need some more of that.
No doubt about it.
That's Ron Slay. That's Ramon Foster. It's Savage Radio right now this hour. In the final few minutes of Ramon and Will, we'll wrap it up next here on 104.5 The Zone.
When you start noticing cracks in the walls, uneven floors, or driveways that are sinking and separating, it's more than a home issue. It's a peace of mind issue. That's why who you choose for foundation repair and concrete leveling, it really matters. I trust personally United Structural Systems because they've been doing this the right way since 1994, right here in Tennessee. USS, they don't believe in quick fixes or scare tactics. They take the time to inspect, explain what's happening, and walk you through real proven solutions that are built to last. Whether your home needs foundation stabilization, crawl space repair, or concrete leveling for sinking sidewalks, patios, or driveways, USS uses engineered systems designed for long-term performance, not those temporary patches. What stands out to me is their commitment to integrity. If you don't need a repair, they'll just straight up tell you you don't need anything. But if you do, you'll know exactly why before any work begins. From the initial inspection, USS, they listen, they educate, and they deliver results that you can trust. Right now, USS is also introducing 24 months no interest financing option that is good through the end of June. You can learn more or schedule your inspection at USSTN.com.
The stylings of Sir Charles Jones bringing us back out of break. Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping this show up for the week. Rhett Bryan in for Will Bowling. Ramon Foster in the house. Ron Slay in the house. Justin Hawkins in the house. We gonna go buy us a fresh pair of Gators?
Hey, man.
We might.
I don't know. See why not. I got a couple I need to dust off.
Listen,
I'm just
fashion always come back around.
just saying.
Fashion always come back around.
So, Big Slay, we've been talking about, it's kind of been a theme of the show all morning, just thinking about great games of sports. But what got it started was Game 4 of the NBA Finals Wednesday night. Greatest comeback in NBA history happens in the most important series of the entire damn sport that decides the championship. And then I was telling Ramon, I saw Adam Schefter post this morning. The Knicks led for 53.8 seconds in that ballgame. That's it.
That's all. That's all.
So, from your point of view, your expertise, what happens to a San Antonio Spurs team knowing that you literally dropped this?
Yeah, you got to find some solace in whatever remains. And what remains is a game at home. If I'm in that locker room, if I'm a coach, if I'm a manager on that team, and I'm taking the mic and I'm letting them know, dog, we're not here. Not here. That can happen in the most magical place in the world, in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
That's cool. Not here. They're not coming down here celebrating like they just finished Game 4 and the people didn't leave the arena.
Yeah.
They didn't even put them people out. They had a real live party in Madison
took
Square
over your
Garden.
backyard.
Yeah, like what? Like, wait. No, so coming into San Antonio, we got to go back there and they got to win it. But now what we will do is go down here and fight in San Antonio, give our fans something that they deserve. You know what I'm saying?
They hadn't won in the finals at home.
You know what I'm saying? That's a problem.
Right.
So you go down here, get a victory. They going to be rowdy. It's a lot of history there, too. They handle business. And whatever happens after that, you playing with house money because you were already down. It's kind of in a sense what Cleveland did when they came back from 3-1. Now, it's a totally different dynamic because you have vets and guys that have won before in LeBron. But you go into this situation, and it could be similar. You win at home. Just protect your home. Whatever happens in Game 6, it is what it is. You never know. Somebody might go
Game 5 is all you can control.
That's
right
all
now.
you can control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's on your turf. So you let the chips fall where they make. You just don't celebrate at home.
But Slay, if you're the New York Knicks and you have done this, like your brother said it the other day, he's like, team of destiny. Like, that puts you in a different mindset. You're on a different plane.
It does. It does.
Like, you did the almost impossible.
Yep. So you ask yourself, man, how are we hanging on and winning these games because of our resilience? No question. But what are we doing throughout the game? Can we not correct? Are we not good enough?
Let's don't have a repeat of Game 4.
Like,
we love the outcome, but the stuff that led to it.
The Spurs been up double digits in all 4 games. Why does this keep happening? Whether fouls, whatever it is, shots made, ball handling, turnover, whatever it is, let's get that in order if we the Knicks. Let's make this the best game because it's going to be the hardest game. Closeout game is the most difficult game. So let's start from the get-go, which New York has not done. However you got to do that, start from the get-go.
And I was telling Ramon this earlier. The long-term solace for the Spurs, regardless of what happens to this series, the long-term is Wembanyama is a kid.
Yeah.
Like crazy. Like the cupboard is good, and you got your star.
Yes.
Like there's a reason why you went and got what you got.
Yep.
And you're going to be all right.
Yep.
It just might not be right now.
Right. And the other part to that, like you said, Gordon, the Knicks, this is your window. We just talked about it off air, like, dog, don't you hate when you got it and you can't close it out? Like, this is your window. Because let me explain something, Gordon. 22-21-20. Wembanyama, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle. I promise you, if you don't get this done now, the league is in trouble with this young man.
Yeah, they are.
When he does, it was the same thing with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was frail. Everybody was pushing him around. And that man all of a sudden came back in the summer with 15 pounds of muscle. And things were never the same.
Dude's an alien, man.
Yeah, it was never the same.
Yeah.
So now you take that with a jumper and Wembanyama plus 5 more inches of height with 2 young guns that are developing too, is get them now.
Get them now.
Get them because they not go, just like the Knicks didn't forget what the Pacers did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they on the run like this. They ain't going to forget. There's some embarrassing moments right here that people going to continue to point to.
How hard is 3 straight? Like, because there is that chance.
Yeah, no question. No question.
I doubt it, but
it's extremely difficult. But why? Because at some point, desperation mode kicks into the team that's up too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Even if you run off 2 of them, it's like, all right, they got us messed up. Now, hold on. Now, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Plus, y'all veterans.
Yeah.
And you got guys that have been there. Mike Brown's been there.
Yes, he has.
You got to tip the cap, man. That man is emptying the bench. He's playing the 11th
I heard
man.
you talk about that the other night.
The 11th
50,
man on the bench. Yeah, I don't
20,
know who he is.
20, whoever
it don't even matter.
He was a first rounder, which is crazy.
Dude, that man is coming off the bench. He's really emptying the bucket. So Mike Brown gets a big shout, man. Like, he's been there, and he's coaching like it.
We've emptied the bucket on Ramon and Will on a Friday. This thing's done. Slade, thank you for coming in, Big Daddy.
I appreciate y'all. Man.
Thanks to everybody this morning.
I want to get a battery.
A silly battery. Hey, but good people, y'all know how we ended on Fridays, man. Call your people, check on your people, man. Have a random conversation with somebody. And I tell you more than anything, we're more alike than we are different, no matter what they tell us, and we know who they are, okay? But at all costs, man, everybody love everybody, man. And see you on Monday. Will be a new man.
We'll be at the golf course on Monday, too.
Yeah, we'll be at the golf course on Monday, 7. Get out of here. You got to go. Peace.